movie was about.
Yeah. Yeah. Lights, camera, action is going down. For my ATL movies, when we run this town with your host, T-Wil, yeah, keeping it real. From the A to the screen, you can feel the thrill. Rolling with the classes, we're setting the pace. Highlighting the magic of our soulful space. Got the vibe, got the crew, making it tight. When the screen lights up, everything feels right. Grab your popcorn, let's make it loud. T-Wil, T-Wil. It's movie time, ATL style. Stand proud. From the silver screen to the hearts we steal. T-Wil, T-Wil. Every frame we capture is a real deal. Yeah. Talking premieres where the stars align. ATL views, yeah, they really shine. Behind the lens, capture.
All right, welcome everyone to For My ATL Movies with your host T-Wil and my guy Jordan Burton, all the way from Philly. Philly, is that how y'all say it? Philly, is that how y'all say it? Did I say it right? Philly.
I don't say it. I don't say it. I just say Philly. I don't know. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want me to say.
How you doing, man? Everything all right?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain. So tonight, guys, we're doing Spider-Man 3. Okay. And hey, great movie, fun times. Jordan, it's interesting. It's as we keep doing this, and you keep telling me, but I don't believe you, and then I watch it and I end up. I hate to say it, but you're right. I enjoyed it a lot better. Now that one scene was still stupid. I'm not gonna back off that. But the movie to me was just it was a lot better this time, man. I can't lie. It was a lot better this time. So yeah, we're talking Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. And the cast by Sam Raimi, released May 4th, 2007. The completion of the trifecta, and we're getting into it, man. So hey, first things first. Again, released May 4th, 2007, had a budget of 258 million. Jordan, can you guess the box office of this film?
This movie probably made a lot of money
It did.
because even though it wasn't a great movie, I mean, I remember all the merchandise for this movie. I had the merchandise for this movie.
Mhm.
And how much did you say it took to make this movie?
258 million to make it.
I'm gonna guess it's probably north of like 500, maybe 600,
Oh,
somewhere
way
around
north.
there.
Way north.
Oh, maybe like is it like 800, 850?
890 million.
Wow, that's
800,
crazy. That's nuts.
890
Wow.
million smackaroos, man. So while, hey, you know what? Maybe it was better than all of us thought, because I mean, it did really well. It did. It
Hmm.
may have done better than Spider-Man 2. You know what? I got to go back and look at the numbers. But it may have done better than Spider-Man 2, but it did well. Either
Hmm.
way, it did well. So you know, our boy Peter Parker enjoys fame as Spider-Man at the beginning of the movie. The city is celebrating him. They're giving him his own day. He's engaged to Mary Jane Watson. Everything is finally going well for him, Jordan. You know, but then, as it so often happens, his life turns chaotic as he faces the Sandman Venom and his inner darkness via the alien symbiote. Peter's ego and guilt clash until he learns forgiveness and redeems himself by forgiving Sandman. Whole other journey Spider-Man goes on in this movie. And I think when I went back and looked at it, what was interesting to me was just the little subplots, right? And how um the characters in this movie were really mean to each other. Like, just the
Hmm.
stuff that they did. Like, uh, Harry, and Harry was just mean. Just mean. And
Hmm.
Peter was worse when he was taken over by the symbiote. Like, it was just, I tell you what, man, when you plot a course for revenge, dig two graves. And it really, this movie really gets into forgiveness and just really bitterness, angst, anger, and how revenge is just going to take you down a path 9 times out of 10 you don't want to go. So, very interesting. Let's get into it. Spider-Man 3. Give me your first impressions now that you've watched it again. Um, give me your thoughts.
This movie has parts of it that are just so wonderful. As always in any Sam Raimi film, the cinematography is going to be exceptional. There's going to
Yeah,
be great
yeah.
editing. Like you can tell Sam Raimi's touch was definitely on this movie, but you can also tell there was studio interference. That the studio wanted something, and Sam Raimi wanted something else. Um,
How can you tell
uh,
that? So for the untrained eye, like myself,
mhm.
how can you tell that? Because for those of you in the audience, Jordan has a background in film. It's part of the reason I love doing movies with him. So, Jordan, how do you see that?
Well, there's so many plots in this movie. I mean, yeah, let's there's so many. You have Sandman. Sandman himself has the plot with his daughter, the
Hmm.
plot with Uncle Ben, the plot with
Hmm.
running from the police and getting his powers. Let's talk about Harry. Harry has the whole identity crisis, like he loses his memory. He's also trying to go after Peter, but he starts off by going after him physically. He just doesn't want to listen to him, which I don't like movies where the problem would be solved if people just sat down, which by the
Each
way,
other.
the Osborn's butler sucks because he could have prevented this whole movie from happening.
You know what's
Um,
funny? You know what's funny, Jordan? Not to cut you off. When I
mhm,
watched that, I said Jordan's gonna be so pissed. Because you know what it reminded me of?
mhm,
You know what it reminded me of,
mhm.
don't you? What it reminded me of,
No,
Jordan? Yes, you
I have
do.
no idea.
Because we had a whole thing about it on another show about 6 months ago about how pissed you were at somebody's butler. You were mad.
Oh, yeah. It definitely reminded me of the Dark Knight,
Exactly.
Alfred.
Exactly.
I'm
About
so mad
Batman.
at him. Same exact
Yeah.
thing. Yep,
Yeah. Yeah. I knew
definitely.
you. I knew it.
Oh
I
yeah,
knew it. I knew it.
yeah.
When I watched it, I
Ah,
said, Jordan's gonna bring this up. Because he
mm-hmm,
waits till like the end of the movie and he
mm-hmm,
says, I was there that night. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, Jordan gonna flip it. Because I'm thinking, why didn't you say
mm-hmm.
anything? This could have totally been avoided if you'd have just told him. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm with you,
Mm-hmm,
buddy. I'm with you 100%. But go ahead,
mm-hmm.
sir. I mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
But like Harry has like he's attacking him physically and mentally, Peter, and then he has a switch of turning of sides. Like Harry and as himself like has his own like major storyline with this. Um, with Mary Jane, I mean, she's getting fired from her Broadway performances. She's her and Harry get together for a little bit, which like
Mhm.
honestly, screw off to everybody in this film
Yes.
for their romantic feelings for one another.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
all of you. I'm a
Yeah.
hopeless romantic. I love me some sappy crap, right? But what the heck is this film, man? That is just the relationships in this film suck so bad. Um oh my goodness. It drives me nuts. This movie's just yeah, the way it handles relationships just sucks. Um and what's crazy? Oh, and Mary Jane, yeah, she has that whole issue with Peter and kissing Gwen. I mean,
I'm laughing because I
her
knew
she
you were gonna be mad. I knew you were gonna be mad. I knew it. I knew you were gonna be mad. Go ahead. Oh my
And
god.
you know what's crazy is I still haven't gotten to Peter or the Venom symbiote. Like that's how insanely deep the amount of subplots are to this movie. Like I don't even know what the main plot is of the movie. What is the main thing? I mean, based off the posters, it should be the Venom symbiote. But one thing Sam Raimi did not want and the studio pushed for was a Venom symbiote. Sam Raimi did not understand how how to work it. He doesn't understand like what the point is of the symbiote. And that I mean that's a fair analysis. I mean, if you don't understand something, I don't think you should put it in your film. Um I mean, I sort of get it. I mean, there are ways you can handle the symbiote. I don't think this could have been a film to necessarily push it. You could have done this movie with just Sandman and the Goblin, and that would have been fine. But um, the I mean, some of the posters in this film, like in the background, this poster, I had this poster on my wall. For my background on my phone throughout all of middle school was the poster of Peter in the symbiote on top of the clock tower in the rain. Like visually, this film might have the greatest posters of any film ever. And there is a huge community on Twitter, on Reddit that also agree with that.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, visually, this movie is just stunning. Like the whole scene, seeing Peter look into the when after he gets the symbiote, he's looking into the building and he sees his reflection, and he's upside down. It's just that every time I watch that movie, I'm like, this is sick. This is awesome.
Mhm.
Um, but like, yeah, getting to Peter's subplots. I mean, you got let's. I mean, there's so many. You have he wanted to propose to Mary Jane, right?
Mhm.
But for some reason, he decided to kiss Gwen Stacy during that whole scene. Which
I
honestly,
didn't
every time
understand
I
that.
watch that,
I did not understand
I
that.
first time I watched this movie, I was so angry, and every time since then, I get so angry at that part because I'm like, what? You love Mary Jane. The
Mm.
beginning. This is not the this, and this is where studio interference. There had to been some sort of studio interference because
Yeah.
the first movie and the second movie make it so clear and obvious to us. I mean, the second movie literally opens up and ends with Mary Jane being the focal point of Peter's life. And
Mhm.
you want to just throw that all away.
Yeah.
That's a
And
bold
not only that,
strategy, Cotton.
he was tone deaf, man. Like
Yes.
first off, you're gonna kiss her in the exact way as your first kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. My wife has accused me of being tone deaf, but even I was like, ouch. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like she's gonna kick your ass. Like, I just bro, that's like taking a woman that you meet to a restaurant that you and your significant the first restaurant that y'all went to on your first date. Like, and I'm wondering, like, why are you so tone deaf? Because he's like, what? Like, he got, because this was before the
I will.
symbiotic fluid got on him. So
Yeah.
you can't use the excuse that he was under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say, okay, he was caught up in the showmanship of it. Like, I think part of the thing that they're trying to say is Spider-Man for so long had been hated by the city that he's in love with the love that they're giving him, right?
Yes.
That he's in love with the
Mm-hmm.
press, that he's in love with
He
them
finally has
loving him.
everything.
Right. And so he's playing to the crowd when he does that, because
Mm-hmm.
when and let's get into it. She's pissed about that, as she should be. Okay. And I can't believe
Yes.
I'm saying this because I'm normally all fellas, but you got no leg to stand on, Pete. Like, you did
Right.
that, and you did it in
Mm-hmm.
public where everybody could see. Not
Mm-hmm.
that it'd be better if you did it in private, but you did it where all of New York sees it, and you
Mm-hmm.
basically just made the kiss between you and her a moot point. right? And
Mhm.
so is he that power? Like, is he that love drunk? Like, I'm just that didn't make sense to me. And I agree with you. That kind of feels like an outside source where it would be really cool if he just kisses Gwen Stacy. And I don't know what their plans were, but it feels like something he wouldn't do. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, right. And two wrongs don't make a right. She also should not have gone and kissed Harry. Like she flat out goes and calls Harry to go hang out with Harry and kisses
Right?
and they kiss. And you know who's the first person to apologize after they kiss? Harry.
Harry. Yeah.
Not MJ.
Right.
Not MJ. Nope, it's Harry. So like when it comes to, and I've said this throughout the entire trilogy, that
Hmm.
this movie is the worst when it comes to Mary Jane because it just like I understand like we all get it. Like
Hmm.
she should be absolutely infuriated with Peter,
Hmm.
but two wrongs do not make a right. She shouldn't have
Yeah.
done that.
No, she shouldn't have. She shouldn't have. But it's funny. When I first saw that, I was mad at her. When I first saw that, I was pissed at her.
Mhm.
Seeing this like 15, 17, 18, however many years later, I'm kind of mad at him. And I'm kind of mad at him because in the beginning of the movie, he is so tone deaf to her, right? She's like, "Well,
Mhm.
oh my God, the review was terrible." And he was like, "You can't let it get into you." But he's telling it to her as though he's this celebrity and she's this underling. And he's like, "Come on, little understudy. You can't let," and I'm not saying he's condescending to her,
Mhm.
but he's not far off. You get what I'm saying? He's not
Yeah, and
listening.
what
Go ahead.
yeah, and like like what he initially says in that statement, like you shouldn't let it get to you. That like he starts off saying the right things, but
Right.
then he starts bringing himself up, and I'm like,
Right.
dude, don't bring this isn't about you. And she literally says, this isn't about you, and
Right.
it's not. And he just wants it. He wants everything to be about him right now because he's finally that nerdy kid has finally got every from the first movie has finally got everything that he wants in life, and he thinks he's on top of the world, and he needs to be that. This is a perfect Spider-Man idea because Spider-Man inherently should not be on top of the world because he always needs to get brought down to earth. He always needs to like that's why he experiences so much loss
Mhm.
because as he needs to understand and go through that trauma to be the perfect Spider-Man and the perfect superhero.
Yeah. To me, it's like he is completely against everything in the first two movies. Like he is tone deaf. Like,
Yep.
no, this is how you should do it. And you know, again, I don't want to be too hard on him, but I felt like they kind of played that up like a little like this is your girl, man. This is your girl. Come on,
Mhm.
like you know what I mean? Like I feel like yeah, he may have responded that way, but I don't know that he would have gone so deep into it. Like, oh well, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like it felt I don't know.
Mhm.
Again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But anyway, whatever. So I get how she got to that point because she's fed up, right? She goes there, she's fired, she comes out, and she comes out to an applause, and it's for Peter, right? And then Peter goes and does the dumb thing. I get it. Now I'm not saying she's right, but I get it. And we got some folks in the chat, so let's get to it a bit. We've got the Dixon Way. Dixon Way, what's up, man? Dixon Way says, "Go Dogs." What up, Dixon Way? How you doing, man? We're just talking Spider-Man 3 tonight. But so I get I don't approve of her going to see Harry. but I get it in the sense that like it's like Peter went 100% celebrity and just couldn't hear anything. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't
Yeah.
hearing her. You get what I'm saying? Which is
Like
so
she
totally.
could have gone to Harry. She could have gone to Harry, but that kiss that they have, that's
That's
where
just I'm mad.
like
That's just I'm mad. And she stopped it.
I
It could have been
I
worse.
believe right. And like all right, some people don't believe that guy like if two people in a relationship that the guy should have best girlfriends or the girl should have best guy friends. I disagree with that. And this is an example of like the three of them were great friends
Hmm.
between Harry, MJ, and Peter. Now, has MJ been with both guys? Yeah. But they also have known each other for so long. So if
Hmm.
MJ wanted to go and needed to talk to someone like Harry, she should be able to do that. That kiss is that's where you went way across the line by doing
Hmm.
that. And that was not everybody in this film sucks.
It just it
Except for
just made me
Sandman. I
mad.
feel so bad for him.
It
I
just
feel
made
bad
you
for the guy
mad.
who actually murdered someone.
Oh, the Sandman. Because he didn't mean
Yeah,
to. Like it's and
he didn't
it's
mean
hey
to.
man, that's how life is, bro. That's how life is. But that's crazy, man.
Hmm.
Let's talk about some character arcs. So Peter Parker goes from hero to corrupted ego to humility. Mary Jane from adoration to disillusionment to strength. Flint Marco, a tragic figure seeking redemption. Harry Osborn, vengeance
Hmm.
driven to self sacrifice. And Eddie Brock, mirror of Peter's ego and downfall. I'm gonna be honest with you. Their portrayal of Venom, and I get it. You don't have but so much time, but to me, it was a little incomplete. Or do you feel that? Like, how did
Hmm.
you feel? It felt incomplete, right? It feels like the
Yeah.
movie Venom is more
Hmm.
accurate in that Venom is not
Oh yeah.
malevolent. He's not a malevolent entity. Now he's got to feed. Okay, you know
Hmm.
got to feed, but he's not a malevolent entity. And it just feels like not that they portray him as malevolent, but it just feels incomplete here. Um, but yeah, just give me your thoughts on character arcs, man. Anything we missed? Anything you want to get into regarding that?
I want to talk about uh Sandman because man, you can tell this is what Sam Raimi wanted to do. That from the
Okay.
beginning of this film and the writing process of this movie, Sandman was always going to be one of the main villains, and
Okay.
if not the main villain. I like what he goes through such a like there's so much tragedy and they did do a great job of tying it back into the first film. I don't like the idea of retroactively like retconning like going back and changing
Oh yeah.
things, but
Yeah.
like I guess this does add a little bit more. It just seems like it makes the Peter like accidentally killing the guy in the first movie maybe worse. Um, so like it's. I mean, we'll just start from the beginning with Sandman. I mean, like he's on the run from the police, and when you're watching the film, whether it's the first time or your 30th time, like you're already like, all right, I don't like this guy's on the run. Like I don't know why he's on the run. I don't really like that. But then you see he's with his daughter. He's clearly just trying to do something for his daughter. His daughter's sick. And then you're like, oh, I like whatever he ends up doing for the rest of this film, you're like, I understand. That like
Yeah.
he could literally kill 500 people and you'd be like, yeah, I understand. Um, so, but he then is still on the run. He goes into the that I don't even know that like pit and has like a hydro collider. I think they said spinning around, and that's how he gets the sand powers. And visually, the best. Oh, I don't even. I don't. There's so many visually great parts of this movie,
Hmm.
and one of them is when you see Sandman have his powers and recognize his powers. Like you see the sand moving on the
Oh
hill,
yeah.
and you
Oh
see
yeah.
him like get up in sand form, and then you see him with the locket of his daughter, and I'm like, this is such a powerful scene.
Hmm.
And you realize he's just like he's already down on his luck, and now he somehow found a way to be even more down on his luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then he's like I gotta get money. He starts robbing banks, and he's still just trying to do this for his daughter. And then we find out that he killed Uncle Ben, and then we're like, oh, like this sucks. Like you don't know whether to root for the guy or hate the guy. um but then finding out like that conversation that Peter and Sandman have at the end of this film
Hmm.
is maybe one of the most underrated lines of dialogue of this whole trilogy. Just to because you simply don't have situations in other movies outside of these three where the villain and the hero just stop and talk. They disagree on things like Spider-Man does it. I get with the Goblin in the first movie. He does it with Doc Ock in the second movie, and he does it with Sandman in this movie. And it's you realize the hurt that he's had, and you realize he did not mean to do that to kill Uncle Ben.
Right.
And to
Right.
see
Right.
Peter say "I forgive you" makes it just all so much more powerful, that scene. But yeah,
Yeah.
Sandman, his whole character arc, his whole character story, beautiful, the best of this whole movie by far.
Agreed. 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 We got Carrie in the chat, by the way. Carrie says T-Will and Jordan. What's up, Carrie? How you doing?
How you
Dixon
doing,
Ware,
Carrie?
this Venom was added to the movie.
Yep.
Sam, main guy.
Yeah.
Dixon Way
Yeah.
says,
No, Venom was added.
yeah, he was. Dixon Way says Raheem Morris is Harry Osborn, just so whack. We're mad with Raheem Morris this week. I'm just gonna
Oh,
tell you.
I'm sure you
We're
are.
we're not gonna
Sure
get
you
into it, but
are.
we're Falcons Nation is not
Yeah.
happy with Raheem this week. So you know that's where that's
Mhm.
coming. That's where that angst is coming from. Let's talk about Peter and Harry, because let me tell you something, man. They get after it in this movie. I forgot. Let me tell you something.
Mhm.
In my humble opinion, and I could be wrong, but it's my opinion. I get to have one.
Mhm.
Um, these are the best fight scenes of this entire series between Peter and Harry, because they get after it and it is no holds barred, and wow. You know what I mean? Just and it was just wow, man. Totally forgot about it. So
Mhm.
when he attacked him the first time as Peter Parker, I think what's really cool is because his web slingers or are organic, you know, he's able to kind of fend him off with the web. Because if not, he's dead duck. Like if that's the Amazing
Mhm.
Spider-Man without his uniform, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna
Mhm.
be a problem. So
Yeah.
I thought the way they did that was kind of cool. The ins and outs of the alleyways, the creative way that they
Mhm.
did that. One thing that I will say, Sam Raimi truly understands Spider-Man and his movements and his
Mhm.
spiders. He does that very well. Very well. Love, love, love the scenes where they get after it. He's shooting and he says, I really hate those things, right? And he turns around and dodges all of his goblin bombs or knives or whatever, and then flings one at him and then hits Harry, and Harry falls down. And it's interesting. So Harry loses his memory, right? And there's this whole thing of, now he and Peter are cool. And then his memory comes back, and Harry was just so mean, man. It to your point, if he would have just listened to Peter. But I guess, you know what, Jordan, sometimes the mind just can't see past a choice that the heart doesn't understand. You get what I'm saying? I just
Mm-hmm.
think he's so hurt.
Yep.
He just can't hear him. You know what I mean? He just can't, or he just won't hear him. And gosh, he's
Mm-hmm.
mean. So he goes after Mary Jane or whatever, and tells her to break up with Peter, and just all of this. It
Oh.
it, it goes to show you the ugly things that friends do to each other when they have vendettas. I think that was the main thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
just the ugliness that people do to each other when they get mad, right? And look it,
Mm-hmm.
you have a relationship long enough with somebody, you're gonna get mad. They're gonna do something that disappoints you, but it's in the way you deal with it, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, man, he's like, okay, now I'm gonna call Mary Jane and have her to break up with Peter and tell her she found somebody else, which crushes
Mm-hmm.
Peter. And then he goes to see him and has lunch with him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the guy." And just the evil way
Mm-hmm.
he looked at him. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was so mad in that scene. I was so angry
Mm-hmm.
in that. Were you pissed at him at that scene, or just give me your thoughts on that?
So that the whole part. So if you divide the part into like four quarters, the whole movie, the third quarter of this movie, where you have Peter like doing the finger guns and stuff, the
Yeah,
dancing, and this whole scene where Harry is with MJ and also trying to get MJ to break up with Peter and stuff like that. This part is awful. This whole part of the movie
hmm,
makes it really brings down the movie for me.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I get sucked out of the movie. All right, I can finally say this because I've been waiting since we started reviewing this movie. The scene where Peter is in the street doing the finger guns and Get On Up is playing in the background. It is the single most cringy thing I've ever seen in any movie, not just Marvel and DC, any movie I have ever seen in my entire life. I remember going to the theaters to see this for the first time, and I remember slumping down in my seat because I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And my mom's to the right of me, like, what's going on? And I was like, this is stupid. I flat out just said
Yeah,
this was stupid. It
it
made
was.
no sense
It
whatsoever.
was.
And there's
It
people
was.
who wanna defend it that oh well he's a nerd at heart and the Venom symbiote brings on like your innermost desires. I don't care. It's stupid. It's dumb. Oh,
Yeah,
it's so cringy.
yeah,
And then and just like I get taken out of the film with that and the whole bar scene where he's playing the piano, dancing with Gwen
yeah.
and stuff like that. Because I'm like, this is supposed to be a Spider-Man film. This is supposed to be this in the same timeline as Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2. Like this is supposed to be in the same timeline as the same movie as Sandman's daughter dying of something, and
Hmm.
you're like you're so emotionally distraught by that, and then you got this dude playing the piano. Like I didn't know Peter knew the piano. No, I guess nobody did. Um, and I mean, it could have helped when you got MJ, who's literally a performer. You could have really helped her with all of that. Um,
I wonder if
so
that was the
I
suit.
get. I mean, does the Venom symbiote know how to play the piano?
I mean,
Does he know?
maybe
Does he
I
know
don't
Bach
know.
or
I
Beethoven?
don't I don't know. It just maybe it was because I mean he hops on the chair and slides over there and does this
Mhm.
jazz
Mhm.
esque tango or whatever the hell it, which
Mhm.
and again
Ah.
that was incredibly mean.
Mhm.
That was just that was when I went back and watched that I was like that was just and Gwen Stacy is disgusting. She's like, wait, you did this for her,
Yeah.
and she said, I'm so sorry.
Good for
Like
her. Good for
that was
her too.
that was that was just it was just mean, man. Like there was a large part of this that basically said, look, people do dumb stuff when they want revenge. They do things to hurt each other
Mhm.
that half of the time they don't really mean just because they're angry. right? Like even Peter flinging that bomb at Harry, I didn't like that. Because you don't have to do that, right?
Yeah.
Harry is
Yeah.
clearly not a prodigious fighter at this point. He has the technology, but he is nowhere near where Peter is. So Peter
Yeah.
could have handled him without wounding him for life. That was to
Mhm.
me that was a bit much. And I know it was the symbiote. I get it. I know it was. I didn't like it. I didn't like it
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, that's your friend, man. You have permanently deformed this man. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that's
Yes.
anyway, whatever. But I agree with you. I didn't. Well, yeah, something funny happened to me. The finger guns thing that was more cringy than the bar scene. And I guess because at
Yes.
that point, like I
Yeah.
was, I was desensitized to it. But the whole
Yeah.
like that was, I
Oh,
agree with you.
and then he has the nerve. This part, like, all right, I'm a very polite person, right? I'm a
Yeah,
very nice. I respect my elders. I respect women, and this guy has the nerve to go into the bar with Gwen, with his date, and his ex is literally in the bar, and then he says to the waitress, who just flat out is, I mean, I'm like, I'm putting myself into her mindset that, like, all right, I'm working, like, there's a lot of people in here, and he's like, find us some shade, thanks, hot legs. And I'm like, and she clearly is annoyed by what he says, and she's just like, right, she has to be polite in that moment because she's working. She doesn't want to say, like, screw off. And I'm just like, dude, have a little respect for someone. Like, this girl's working a job. I
yeah.
don't know. Um,
No,
it
he
was
was in
just
full
so
jerk mode.
annoying.
He was in full jerk mode, man. Toronto just went up 3-0, by the way.
Ah,
Fourth, third inning. But I mean, he was in full. Jordan, you there? You went dark.
yeah,
Jordan, you there?
yeah,
Okay, all right.
yep.
Yeah, he was in full jerk mode, man. Like just that whole bar scene. Looking at it now in totality, you didn't have to do that. You did not have to do. But again, it
Right.
was the suit. That to me was all the suit, right? That to me was just,
Mhm.
oh, you gonna break up with me and do this? Okay, watch this. You know what I mean? Why? And
Mhm.
he took that. Honestly, Jordan, I don't believe in kicking somebody when they're down. I
Mhm.
don't believe in that because you don't know what people are going through. You just don't.
Mhm.
You don't. You do not know what people are going through. I saw this story today where real quick, it was on Facebook. And this family was out. It was 13 of them. They were having dinner. They were enjoying themselves, laughing and being loud. And this couple that was next to them kept, looking back at them, I guess because they were being loud. And so finally one of them says, hey, today's my husband's birthday, and they're like, "Oh, great!" And they sing him a birthday song. And one of the family, the big family with the 13 members, was like, "Well, hey, we can come back and do this next year." And the husband, it was a couple, says, "No, I don't think so." And they were like perplexed by his response, but they were like, "Okay, whatever. Hey, let's go ahead and let's pay for their meal." So they paid for the couple's meal. And so the wife, after it was over, came up to them and said, "You guys just don't know what you did. You made this such a wonderful moment. My husband has received some news that he probably will not live another year. Some very tragic news, and you made this very special." And there was
Mhm.
this emotional. Obviously, it was emotional. Like they all hugged each
Mhm.
other. It was a great thing. But the point is, you just never know what people are going through, man. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I just don't. I mean, clearly, Mary J's singing in a jazz bar. She's really down. She's down and out. I didn't like it from that perspective. Like, and I know you're heartbroken, but you didn't have to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because really, she broke up with you for you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because he threatened her, so she did it for you, and that was just incredibly mean. But
Mhm.
anyway, whatever. Let's talk about some themes, man. Uh, a big theme of this movie is forgiveness and vengeance, and I agree with that. Identity and ego, I agree with that. Responsibility and legacy, the duality of light and dark, I totally get that. And sacrifice and redemption. And one of the things I forgot about is that there are some versions or iterations of Venom where people lose their memory because the suit
Mm,
takes over, right?
yeah.
And I thought they did a great job of that. Like when he
Mhm,
first is laying down and having the dream about his Uncle Ben or whatever, and the suit takes over, and he wakes up and he's like, I thought that. Now let me tell you something. I thought that was cool. The
mhm,
scenes where he's got the black suit, hey man, that worked for me,
mhm,
buddy. That worked for me. I loved it. I
mhm,
loved it. I
mhm,
think the scenes as Spider-Man and the action sequences to me in Spider-Man 3 were some of the best ever. Like I
mhm.
really thought again, the fight scene between Sandman and Venom, it was good, but my favorites were the ones with Goblin and Spider Man because
Mhm,
not only for the dialogue, but just their movements, I felt like they did a great job of capturing that.
mhm,
Right? Like if you read the comics, you understand Spider Man has certain poses. He moves a certain way, right? He has certain
mhm.
instincts, and to me, they did a great job of capturing that. But yeah, man, anything we missed with the themes, anything you want to delve into regarding that?
I mean, the big one in this movie is redemption. I mean, for a lot of people, I mean, Sandman, um, for for Peter, like, I mean, Peter in the second half of this film, redemption. I won't say the first half, but second half. Because, like, I mean, he was just a flat out jerk in the beginning of this movie. But then he goes back to losing things and then redeems himself. Um, I think I see what sucks is like Mary Jane is just not developed in this movie whatsoever because like she loses things, but we don't see her gain anything by the end
Yeah,
of the film.
yeah,
And that's what sucks. Like she goes through what Peter should be going through. Peter should lose a bunch of things and not gain anything. Like not her. So like she loses her job, she loses her boyfriend. I mean, even by the end of this movie, you and to this day, even with no Spider-Man No Way Home, we don't even really know if they are together or not
yeah, yeah,
officially. Like but this movie's ending since the first time I saw it in theaters and to this point, it always rings hollow for me. Like Toby, or Toby, Peter and MJ, like they share a hug, and that's really it. Like a hug could mean anything. It could mean like I forgive you. It could mean like all right, we're back together. It could mean like everything's gonna be okay based off what they've all gone through. Like it could be anything. So it's an open ending. It's an open ended ending that the first two movies did not have those. They
yeah,
they ended on a with a nice bow on top. But this doesn't have a bow. It's in fact it's not even wrapped. It's in a Kohl's shirt box, and you just need to open up the lid, and boom, it's right there.
yeah.
Like it's this ending has always rang hollow for me. But yeah, getting back to the themes, um, redemption for really Harry goes through redemption. I mean he goes through he also goes through something Peter should be going through in terms of like but he's angry by the beginning of the film, loses his memory, can't remember anything.
Hmm.
Like he had to I literally ask is my father they're dead, and um and like that sucks. And he finally he thinks that when he gets his memory back, he thinks that like going after Peter psychologically is the best move. But then he has the conversation with his butler, which should have happened 3 movies ago. should like after that he's like, okay, like I should forgive him, I should forgive Peter and stuff like that. And but by the end of the film, he has the biggest redemption, in my opinion, of all of the characters is Harry. And what's funny is like James Franco has there's stuff that's going on behind the scenes with him as an actor right now, so that I don't really know a ton about, so I'm not going to dive right into that. But I mean, he's been very public with his opinions on just the Goblin in general. Um, and I think Goblin was supposed to have a different role in this film along with Sandman, but because the studio pushed Venom, I mean, Venom is the bigger name. Like it's the same thing with like
It's the
I
big sexy.
I
And to me,
yeah,
Venom is to Spider-Man what the Phoenix is to X-Men.
yeah, yes,
In the
100%.
MCU, in the MCU, not necessarily in the comics, but in the MCU. Because again, they went back to this storyline again. And so I mean, it's something they do. And they got their own movie series. So yeah, I agree with you. Dixon want to ask a good question, and he
Hmm.
says, "What place in this? What place is this movie in the history of Spider-Man movies?" I'm gonna ask you first, Jordan.
Like in terms of the ranking,
Yeah,
I mean, I think this is very clear and obvious. The second, if we're talking just live action movies, because I
yeah,
won't even count Into the Spider Verse and Beyond the
yeah, yeah,
Spider
yeah,
Verse,
no, 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 live action.
or any of or any of the '70s TV films. Um, but between Andrew
I'm
Garfield's
surprised
duology,
you know
Tom
about the
Holland's.
'70s TV. I'm so proud of you.
Of
I could
course,
hug
I
you
know
right
about them.
now.
I've watched them. I've watched them all. I am Spider Man is my favorite character ever. I dressed up as I was just talking about this today. I dressed up as this version of the Venom Spider Man for Halloween when right after this movie came out, and the year before I was the regular Spider Man. So Spider Man is my favorite character. So I know I've watched fan films on Spider Man. I can tell you about the very controversial Spider-Man Lotus, which I have very strong opinions about that, even though the two people who made that film are very racist. Wow. But I have also very strong opinions on that film in general because I remember when the whole thought process behind that film and seeing it slowly get made. Um, so, but yeah, I watched everything Spider-Man. I watched
I'm so
Spider-Man and
proud of you
Friends,
right
the
now.
animated series.
I'm so proud of you. I remember that. I remember that when I was a little boy, because that show was out when I was about 7, and I watched every
Mhm.
episode, and I cried when it went off the air. Like I was just
Mm,
crushed, right? But I love that because I remember that one. I remember they had Captain America. The
yes.
Captain American was okay, but I love that. I love
Mhm.
this mask. I love the way they. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
I love
Yeah.
that.
It's
I
awesome.
did love that. I love that.
But
Dixon Wade says he
in
counts for
terms
Spider.
of but in terms of just Andrew Garfield's duology, Tobey Maguire's trilogy, and Tom Holland's trilogy. I mean, for me, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the very clear worst Spider-Man film of all of them. And this is very clearly the next worst. I think those are the only two bad Spider-Man films that we've gotten, which is kind of a hint as to what my rating of this will be. And my rating has gone down over time with this film. Um,
Okay.
and well, like I know people hate on Spider-Man Far From Home, and I get all the reasons why to hate it. I don't, but I don't think it's a bad film, but I don't think it's a great film either. I think it's one of those films that it's just such with Spider-Man, he's put on this high pedestal, right?
Right.
Like all the I mean, we're talking about Spider-Man 2 is arguably the great. I mean, there's people who say that's the greatest comic book movie ever. Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire is arguably the greatest origin story of a superhero ever. Um, Spider-Man Homecoming is the most comic accurate Spider-Man and movie that we've ever gotten. With Spider-Man No Way Home, that was the culmination of all of these movies, which was fantastic. And with The Amazing Spider-Man, it introduced us to different storylines in the comics that people really don't know because they're so used to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And I think that's what makes The Amazing Spider-Man 1 very underrated. But with Spider-Man Far From Home, it introduces us to a new story that's not necessarily this big culmination event. It's not this big deal or anything, but I think it's just really solid. It's not great. In fact, it's going to be in the lower half of those films. But I still have a positive review on it, even though it's meh. It's okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, Spider-Man
yeah.
3, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I can't wait for us to get to that because that movie angers me. So it angers me. And this movie, Spider-Man 3, when I first saw it, I really liked it. But since then, and I've rewatched this movie a lot because I do like a lot of the thing. I just think it's fun sometimes, but the more I watch it and the older I get, I'm just like, what the heck is going on, man? Like, there's too many plot points. I get sucked out of it, and it's cringy. It's so cringy. Mm, I this movie's frustrating in the same breath as like X-Men: The Last Stand,
Mhm.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, where you have so many plot points. The difference is this movie had already established characters that were at the peak of their careers that came in and were doing this third movie of a trilogy. And it just was super disappointing. I mean, it's not like you had the same director, you had the same characters. It's not like you did recasting. So, and that's what sucks about studio interference. This is a prime example of studio interference.
You could see some disharmony. Now, for me again, I hated it less, and I don't know what the hell is going on with me, Jordan. I don't know if maybe because I don't know what the hell's going on, but I didn't hate it as much. I don't Jordan. I'm really afraid that when I watch the Eternals, I may not hate it. I'm afraid. Like
Yeah,
because I
you might
hated
love
it.
it.
Let's not go that far. Let's not go
It
that
might be
far.
your
But
favorite movie ever.
no, stop it. Stop it. We got Dixon Way joining us. Hey Dixon Way, how you doing, man?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
How's it going, man?
Hey man, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. I was telling him I'm getting old and soft in my old age because I didn't hate Spider-Man 3 as much when I watched it this time, man. I don't know what it was, but it was different. I know you definitely hated it. So I don't know if you saw his comment, Jordan, but he said that in his opinion, No Way Home, not No Way Home. What did he say? Oh,
I
geez.
said Far From Home. Far
Far
From
From
Home
Home
is the
and
worst,
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 are the two worst Spider-Man movies.
and I count Spider Verse, both of them personally, because they are full theatric films. They weren't, mini series, anything like that. They are theatrical releases. I count them 100%.
Okay, that's fair. So, uh, Dixon, let's talk about some themes in this movie for you. What are some themes for you that kind of spoke to you about this movie?
Sandman was the movie. Harry sucked in all kind of ways. Skateboard Goblin, trash. Uh, my bad. Marty McFly, skateboard, flying hoverboard.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow!
Effects for Venom was above. I mean, before their time, but
Yeah.
that kind of was whack. You could tell that the studio for that's the first time that I saw a comic book movie. You could tell that the studio had their influence on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell that Sam Raimi wanted to go Sandman, and I feel like Sandman. It was too many. It was too many enemies. That was the first time I was like, okay, it's too many enemies in this. Okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
too many guys to focus on. Prior to Sam Raimi would focus on, okay, Peter's growth in the first one, Doc Ock in the second one. Uh, yeah, but this one it just had too many villains for me. You know what I'm saying? Now I can say that Sandman was
And
an hero. I never really liked Sandman in the comic anyway, so him being sympathetic, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But again, uh, it should have just been Sandman, at the very least Harry, you know. But Venom, nah. eh. And
Mm.
then, yeah, the thing with Peter, yeah, man, that was mad cringy. Like I was like, golly, what? That took me out of the movies, kind of like, which was a cool scene, but the music took me out with Mr. Terrific in the new Superman.
mm,
Cool scene, but the music did take me out. So I'm just like, I think they could have had better music to it. A bar scene, cringy. Mary Jane portrayed like I never really liked Mary Jane in the comics. I think she was a DT to Peter all throughout high school. Did she want to play victim? But that's another story. We don't have to talk about the comic. And then they eventually get married, divorced. Now, died. No. I I look. Hold on, son. I look at this movie right here as the studio took over, and you can tell it's an abomination. I view it like Secret Wars for the Disney Plus when they had one idea and it totally got scrapped. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell, like, or Secret Wars, not even, I mean, Secret Invasion, excuse me, not even Secret Invasion, more so Captain America and Falcon. Captain America and Falcon was one thing. I still like it, kind of, but you could tell that the story went left and it could have been so much better. But it is what it is. And that's how I kind of figured that, like, for 1 and 2 to be so great, and the 3, that movie made Toby hate the character. He didn't even want to be associated with Spider-Man anymore. That's how much he hated it because of the backlash from the fans. So I hate that movie.
Mm.
And then Far From Home, I'm not. I push back on Homecoming being uh the most authentic Spider-Man ever because he had an Iron Man suit. I just push back
yeah.
on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he doesn't have a modified Iron Man suit, and that's my only real gripe about Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland embodies what Spider-Man is, but the way they wrote him was written all around Iron Man. And that was one thing I did not like. He's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, not friendly neighborhood Iron Lad, which they tried to make him. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and
Mm.
it's it's like that, man. I'm just like, okay, uh, we aren't we aren't really getting Spider-Man. That's why I'm really wondering what this new Spider-Man gonna be. Is look like it's gonna be multiversal and man, can I just get a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man for once? No, I will
Mm.
never get it in the MCU. You know, so that's kind of my gripe.
Well,
Oh, okay, go ahead,
I
interject.
mean, they're so I from everything I have
Oh, what
seen
time is it?
and
Oh, sorry,
everything I
sorry.
have heard is that this new Spider-Man is going to be street level, and that I mean, it's going to be street level. They say it's going to be street level, but confirmed in this movie is going to be Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, John Bernthal as Punisher, and Sadie Sink is going to be. I don't know I actually have never seen the character before, but it's like a young female version of the Punisher. Um, and I've heard Tombstone's going to be in it. I've heard a lot of street level Spider-Man villains from the comics are going to be in it. We're going to get Scorpion in it. Like, I'm very excited. The one thing that makes me nervous is, why the heck is Mark Ruffalo's Hulk in this movie? That's very concerning for me, because that's a big time character, a big time player, and I don't know how you can have Spider-Man face off against him. I don't know how you can have the Punisher facing off against him. Even if Punisher and Spider-Man are working together to stop the Hulk, because my assumption is this is how we get the true real Hulk back into the Marvel movies, and not Smart Hulk. Even if you added Smart Hulk in this, I think it would be confusing. I think the fact that Hulk is in this movie in general is going to be confusing. But
Yes,
based off the costume design, behind the scenes work, this is looking like the most street level Spider-Man movie since probably The Amazing Spider-Man, maybe.
I hope so, man. I saw some of the screenshots and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I got a fear that it's gonna be versal type of things, because he's supposed to be in Doomsday, so I don't know, man. I think probably the first half of it is gonna be. I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm worried, but hopefully, I mean, I saw the suit, so the suit looks authentic. You know what I'm saying? It looks street level.
Oh yeah,
No
looks
kind of
great.
arms coming out and none of that stuff. So yeah, we'll see, man. Yeah, I'm just not a fan
And
of.
also, this movie takes place before, or it's supposed to release before Secret or Doomsday.
Before
Doomsday.
It's gonna.
Doomsday.
It used to be Doomsday was coming out before,
Yeah,
but now it's coming out before Doomsday.
So
and
that lets you know there are rewrites, and it's going to play into that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they probably
Yes.
added on into it. Yeah.
that's why the Hulk's in there.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
there's no reason for the Hulk to be in a street level Spider-Man when you possibly had a Kingpin, Tombstone, all those bad guys he can handle. Daredevil appearance, uh Punisher appearance. Yeah, all those things Spider-Man can handle on his own. So yeah.
Yeah. Guys, one thing I wanted to add to this, and that is the dichotomy or the duality of man, being that we all have two sides, good and evil, right? So we see that in MJ, we see that in Peter, we see that in Harry. We see dark and light sides to both of them. We see them do nice things. We see them do really ugly things. And I think that's a theme that we kind of really didn't call out. But that's even when you look at the posters, to your point, Jordan, it's dark and light, right? It's the dichotomy of man. So I would agree with that. Wanted to throw that in there. Dixon Way, you were right on when you were talking about the criticisms of the movie. One of the things that we do see is that it was kind of overstuffed with the villains. There was a tonal inconsistency between dark and comedic, and yeah, there were some jokes that missed, and there were some scenes like, again, the whole, fingers. We'll for that scene going forward will forever be labeled as fingers, but that one missed. The bar scene kind of missed. The underdeveloped Venom arc, which is what I said. And then the pacing was a little um inconsistent. But yeah, those are my criticisms. Dixon Way, you kind of said the same thing. Jordan, any other criticism you can think of, or have we pretty much covered it?
Well, I do want to talk about the overstuffed villains, because I think this movie began that stigma of not having too many villains in a movie. And also the Amazing Spider-Man 2 did the same thing. It continued with that. You can have a lot of villains in a movie, but you have to do it right. Like Spider-Man No Way Home did it almost right. I don't think they developed on the lizard villain all that well, but I everybody else was pretty well developed in terms of the villains. Like you could tell they were a continuation of their old movie villains. But you can do movies with a lot of villains. This this started that stigma, and yeah, and I don't even think I think you could have done this movie with the Goblin and Sandman, 100% Sandman. Sandman was the clear main villain going into this movie, but like that duality of light and dark that you were talking about, that's what
Mhm.
Sam Raimi couldn't really get. It was almost like a generic theme that he had to put in this movie for Venom because he needed to do something because that's what the studio wanted was
Right.
Venom. So
Right.
it's like this is the most generic story for Venom that you can have.
Yes.
Um,
Agree.
I mean, when you're looking at the tonal inconsistencies, yeah, there's so many tonal inconsistencies. Um, I mean, you got there's pretty much and maybe that's just a thing that Sam Raimi does in all his films because I wouldn't even call it tonal inconsistency. It's just Sam Raimi with the first two movies, you saw everything. You saw like scary moments, romantic moments, funny moments, great action scenes. You saw everything in those first two movies. And I think he tried to do it in this, but because there were so many plot points, it led to the tone being inconsistent.
That's fair. That is fair. That
I
is fair.
a wor- I and the piggyback on that, I think it's a worse version of Multiverse of Madness.
You
Like
think so? How
the
so?
Yes.
in my opinion, I think the MCU forced a lot of stuff on Sam Raimi in that, and I actually enjoy Multiverse of Madness, but I can see
So do I.
what they were trying to do with the incursions and stuff like that. They talked about it, but again, I felt like what if season one explained how the multiverse worked better than the multiverse of madness? You know what I'm saying? The multiverse of madness was a whole bunch of good uh cameos. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I would have liked, and I hope and pray that the Russos have the cojones to do this. Let's go to animated world. I need to see X-Men 97 interact with 616 characters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, I need that I need Tom Holland in
Mm.
X-Men 97 cartoon form,
Mm.
in animated form. Like, that's why I want them to get to the point, like, I want them to get just like they did. That's why I say that Across the Spider Verse, in my opinion, is my favorite Spider Man because how it touched everything. When you have callbacks and Easter eggs to the Prowler being in the
Hmm.
MCU, and it's just like that with Glover, it's just like, come on, man. When you have Toby over Uncle Ben, the movie shot. It's just like, bro, you can't get no more Spider-Man. That's my favorite Spider-Man of all time, Across the Spider-Verse. It is absolutely just jaw-dropping. Like, how could y'all make the second one better than the first one? Like, but anyway, that's what I want to see live action do. I want to
Yeah.
see Russo's be so daring because we saw it with Sam Raimi. Now he's a contributor. Now he doesn't have anything to do with Doomsday or Secret Wars, but I would love to see them do that. Like, yo, I have to go here, or we have to fight them, or like because they're not gonna. They could continue to do X Men '97. You know what I'm saying? But I'm figuring like after Secret Wars, they're gonna end the multiversal thing and everything's gonna be in one universe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, I
I've
don't think
always
so.
had the theory.
I
I've
don't
always
think.
had a theory like what
Mm,
we've been watching in the MCU is not the real Marvel, and that's how they're gonna present it. He
mm-hmm.
things took all the X-Men out and Doom and all of them because they were a threat to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he took all the mutants out.
Mm-hmm.
No mutants in my timeline that can mess up anything. No Doom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how they're gonna work. Like RDJ being Doom is just like he was always Doom. We erased him. We couldn't actually eliminate him. And
Mm-hmm.
alive, whatever magic around him, he couldn't be killed by alive. So we put him in his own dimension or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If that was with Fantastic Four, that's what it is. But I really believe once he died, you know what I'm saying, with Victor Timely, never got the book and stuff like that in his door, in his window, that reset everything. Victor Timely died. You know what I'm saying? He who remained died, and their cycle never repeated. That's why Loki became the god of why am I forgetting? The god of
The
stories.
time.
He
Yeah.
became the god of stories. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh that's why when he's holding the stream, it looks like the tree, the world tree
Yeah.
in Asgard. So I like the way they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that Jonathan Majors coming back for that, and I feel like Spider-Man is going to be a key part to 616 fighting against, you know what I'm saying, wherever Monica Rambeau ended up. Because I think Monica Rambeau, you know, at the end of what's that, the Marvels.
Yeah.
Only thing you need to look at that for it
She's in another universe
yeah,
with the.
I think that universe is going to be at odds with 616. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what I'm saying? Like everything's gonna start kicking off. But yeah, I can't wait for Doom. But I really feel like Spider-Man's gonna have a huge part. That's why are you having Hulk? I think you're having Hulk and Spider-Man to have Spider-Man and Hulk end up in Doomsday. Like that's gonna be the tease. You
It
know.
could be, yeah, it could be, or
Yeah, oh
it could
man.
be, it could be that this Hulk could be from another universe. See, the reason I don't think that.
No, it's Ruffalo. It's Ruffalo. It's our
Okay, yeah, but it still
It's
could be
Ruffalo.
another. It could be another iteration. It could be because again in 616 he's Professor Hulk, right? So
Mhm.
my point is, for me, if I'm Disney, I would never take away the multiverse because it would take away my ability to retcon. You get what I'm saying? Oh, I don't like this guy. Cool. Okay. Because I mean, I don't. This Doom, in my opinion, has either got to come from 818, where the Fantastic Four were, or he's got to come from where the X-Men are, or another universe. He can't be from 616. The only way this makes sense is if he's from another universe, right? That just my thoughts. But anyway,
No,
let's
no,
So
no.
I have a
Think
theory.
about this. Yeah, go to sleep, son. Think about this. What if Doom? Okay, you got Kevin Feige in his toy pen, right? Hey, guess what I can do? I can make
guess
it
what I can.
so I can make it so Doom was always Doom. I don't know if you
I
guys
think I
have in
think
mind
Marvel
where
I think Marvel fans would hate
Tony
that.
starts. I don't know if y'all read that before, but he was always Doom, and he
Yeah,
out that he was always. If they take
Mhm.
that stance and say he was always Doom, but he remains, put him out whatever universe he did, dropped him in there, kind of like that pocket universe that that Strange had on
yeah,
what
yeah,
dropped him in a pocket universe, just like the TVA is in the middle of nowhere. You know,
yeah, yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
so you have Doom like that, but once he dies, he had the whole contingency to basically start over with the TVA, and that got interrupted. So all of his variants and stuff like that. What if Tony was Doom all along? and just his memory is wiped. You know, so
Um,
that's gonna make it super special when Tony sees Peter.
mhm,
He gonna kill Peter. I promise you.
mhm,
You
Ah,
see all the tears.
ah.
Doom is gonna kill
mhm.
Peter. Get ready for it.
Oh
Just
man, you heard it.
get,
You heard it
if
here
you
first.
cried in Infinity War, get ready. Just
Oh
bring.
man.
I'm telling you,
Oh
bring your Kleenex.
oh
You
wow.
see,
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm talking about
Sure.
that Peter right there. That's the end of that Peter. They might rewrite and get a new Spider-Man because I know they're getting a new Black Panther. They may get a new Spider-Man too. That Peter's died.
You making some bold predictions tonight there,
That Peter,
Dixon Way.
in my heart, I feel like he's coming back, and Doom is going to kill him instead of
Mm.
him being dusted. You talking about a way to end Doomsday? If Peter tried to, Mr. Stark, this is not you. I'm not Tony,
Mm. Mm.
and hit him with the Doom missiles.
That would be something. Jordan, you had an idea? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a theory as with Sony and Disney's contract
Yes.
when using um, Spider-Man, they have to use an Avenger character in a Spider-Man film. In Homecoming, it was Iron Man. In
Yes.
Far From Home, it was Nick Fury. And in this,
It's
they
hope.
I guess are going to use the Hulk.
Yes.
I also think my theory is that Mr. Negative is going to be the main villain of this film, and
Oh
that
wow.
he is going to make it so that Smart Hulk is no more, and we are
Oh
going to
wow.
get the rambunctious Hulk that we've always wanted, that everybody loves, because that's what you need to do. You need to figure out a way to bring back the original Hulk for Doomsday. How are you going to do that? Well, we have the Spider-Man film that's coming out right before it. There's this character, Mr. Negative, who can, I mean, he can do that sort of thing. He can make it so that your bad side comes out, and it's possible we get that Hulk back that we've all wanted for years since Infinity War. So that's my theory, that we are going to get the real Hulk back finally when it comes to this movie. And that will lead into Doomsday, us having that Hulk back.
Mm. That's it.
Hulk has been
That's
excited
an interesting theory.
Hulk
That's
has
an
not been
interesting
excited
theory.
since the first Avengers, in my opinion.
Mhm.
That's just
Mr.
my
What?
ever since the first Avengers, that was the real Hulk. After that, I haven't seen the real Hulk. Okay, Avengers 2,
Mhm.
kinda, sorta. Come on now, the night's getting long. Only Betty could calm him.
Sun's getting low, big guy. Sun's getting
Only
low.
only Betty could get him to calm down. I'm not buying Black Widow. I'm sorry, not sorry. But again, I get it. I get it. But yeah, no, 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 no.
Mhm.
Mm.
I
Okay.
love that idea. If Mr. Negative come in, I
Mhm.
love that idea that we can get Rage Hulk
Mhm.
again. And that way, hey,
Yes.
now Peter, hey, we need your help. We
Mm.
need your help.
Mhm.
Here come Fury and Sword. Not Shield and Sword. Come on, guys.
Mhm.
We need to have some real stuff. Okay, that's cute. I need you guys to help some multiversal stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if it literally ends kind of like Iron Man 1, Spider-Man, we gotta talk. Yeah, yeah. Like if they bring back Nick Fury like that, that would be freaking awesome.
Mm. All right. Let's
Mhm.
talk about that's interesting. That is interesting. Let's talk about the juxtaposition of this Spider-Man versus Amazing Spider-Man versus MCU Spider-Man. Specifically, the symbiote was a more gradual and nuanced occurrence in the comic books. And I agree because they had more time. It wasn't a movie. It wasn't like 90 minutes and you're done. So they had more time to introduce it. Amazing Spider-Man was more focused on youthful energy. MCU Spider-Man, more global stakes, mentorship focus between uh, Iron Man and Spider-Man. I agree with that. Toby's version, most tragic and emotionally grounded.
Mhm.
How do you guys feel about the juxtaposition? And did I leave anything out there in regards to the comparison between the symbiote in the comic and this Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, MCU Spider-Man, and Toby Spider-Man? And doesn't matter who goes first, but just give me your thoughts.
Uh, I-
Well, I think with Toby, I mean, Toby's my favorite Spider-Man. In fact, I went to, you guys don't have Wawa there, but I hope you guys eventually do get Wawa. I think Wawa should be global. Went to Wawa yesterday. It's like a gas station and convenience store. And some guy was like, "Has anyone ever told you you look like Tobey Maguire?" I was like, "No, but that's the best compliment I've ever heard in my life, and that will go straight to my head." Um, and so either way, Tobey Maguire like for years, this is my Spider-Man. This has always been my Spider-Man with all three of these films. And while it's maybe not the most comic accurate in terms of like who you're going to cast, I mean, he does look like he's like in his mid 20s when the first Spider-Man movie comes out, and that's how all the cast members look with this film. But that's just every movie in that late 90s, early 2000s. That's just how it was. Like nowadays, we're casting for age accuracy. And Tom Holland's is like if you're just looking at just if you're trying to make a universe of Marvel characters, Tom Holland as an actor is going to be the first choice because he represents the most comic accurate version of Spider-Man in terms of just how he looks, his age, everything about that. I mean, now Tom Holland's getting a little older, so even now he's slowly becoming not as comic accurate. Andrew Garfield's Andrew Garfield. I can't wait when we review those movies because it's such an odd turn. It's like we're driving. It's like we know how Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man goes. We know how Tom Holland's Spider-Man goes. With Andrew Garfield's, it's like we think we're going on a path and then we take a left turn.
Mm,
And it's not a bad thing. I think they introduced new ideas in both those movies that I've always been interested in, and I guess the public's just not very interested in. Because I mean, I've gotten in arguments with other uh, people who literally report on movies and write on movies and about like this is something that some people were questioning. Have asked about like the average person is going to ask, why does Peter Parker live with his aunt and uncle? The average person is going to ask that.
mhm.
Now, I guess some people don't question that. I do. I mean, you could simply just say that they died in a car crash, called it a day. But no, I think that's always been very interesting of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. But with Toby's, like you said, this is the more grounded version of Spider-Man, and Spider-Man has to be grounded in order for him to be great. What makes Spider-Man such a great character in any sort of media is that he's so relatable. And I mean, he's working 9 to 5 job, also being Spider-Man. He's living paycheck to paycheck. He's trying to pay rent on time. He's doing multiple jobs. He's going to school, trying to pay off school. I mean, this trilogy is a life lesson, and that's something that none of the other Spider-Man, like the duology of Andrew Garfield doesn't do, and the trilogy of Tom Holland doesn't do. Like it shows just how hard life can be, but we're human beings and we can bounce back from that. So that's why Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man has always been resonated with me so much. And I mean, there are a lot of I mean, there's so many great iterations in the comics. There's so many great iterations in animation, and it's that's what makes Spider-Man just so great. And it's what I love about Miles Morales, um, in especially in across the Spider-Verse, when there's all these different other Spider-Man, and he flat out says, "No, I'm going to do my own thing," and I love that because that's who Spider-Man is. He goes and does his own thing, and that's that's just something I've always that's something I always love about Spider-Man. He's going to interact with the X-Men. He's going to interact with the Avengers. But at the end of the day, Spider-Man's just Spider-Man. He's not a part of a team necessarily full time. He's always willing to help everyone out and make sure at the end of the day that the neighborhood is safe. And that's what makes Spider-Man so great. And I think the one iteration of this that does it so fantastic is the one in Tobey Maguire's trilogy. And I love this trilogy with all of my heart, even though the third one sucks.
Dixon Way, your thoughts on the juxtaposition? Go ahead.
I agree, man. Spider-Man 1 and 2 are, if those don't happen, Blade don't happen. I mean, well, I think Batman happened first. Batman doesn't happen, then Spider-Man doesn't happen. Then Blade doesn't happen. So it all a trickle down effect. But yeah, I love Spider-Man being poor, struggling,
Mm-hmm.
selling pictures to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to get rent, don't have enough to make spider webbing, and got to wrap dudes up with ropes. Like I, Tobey Maguire's Spider Man is the definitive Spider Man. I like Andrew Garfield. The problem is, all right. Here's the thing. Here's how I break it down. Andrew Garfield had the better Spider Man. He was more quippy. He was a wisecracker,
He was quippy.
wisecracking
Yeah, you're
type of.
right.
He's a wisecracking type of Spider Man that Spider Man was in the comics. But his Peter Parker was too cool.
Mm.
He's wisecracking just like Spider Man was. I don't feel like Toby's wisecracking was as good as Andrew's.
It
Andrew
wasn't. It
Phipps
wasn't. You're
I
100%
agree.
right.
was
Yep.
there. Like him
Mm-hmm.
as Spider Man, 100%. He was too cool. Peter was too cool. I think that's the biggest flaw with Amazing Spider Man for me. Peter was too cool, and when Gwen, died the way I mean, that's a dramatic part in the comics. You know what I'm saying? How she died. So that's why I really felt it when when he saved MJ. In No Way Home, it's just like, yo, that was that sent chills down my spine. Like, oh my,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Agreed.
really,
Agreed. Agreed.
like that moment, man. Like that is a huge moment in comic history when the way Gwen died and how he felt like he let her down. He could not save her. He killed her. So it's just like to see him get that redemption in a movie. You know what I'm saying? I've always loved that, and it was redeeming, and you can see it in Andrew's face. Like that was real emotion. That wasn't, what I'm saying. That was real emotion because again, Amazing Spider-Man 2 made. I mean, like, not bad. I apologize. It's like Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2, some of the two, the and then Far From Home. Okay, that's my bottom three. But yeah, like both of those movies made these great actors hate the character of Spider Man. You know what I'm saying? And it took Kevin Feige to get these guys back to fall in love with the character. And now it's kind of the same arc with Hayden Christensen, how people hated on the prequels
Mhm.
initially, how he just wanted to distance himself away from Star Wars. But with the inclusion of Clone Wars and stuff like that, and now coming back, he's back with family, man, like he never left. So I really feel like uh, I mean, personally, I feel like Spider Verse is the best iteration, even over two. When I go back and look at two, and I've always held two as like a top five comic book movie of all time. When I take Across the Spider Verse and I look at it from the bare bones, you got Peter being real Peter, Mary Jane, at least the brief time you saw it being Mary Jane. You know what I'm saying? The only thing it didn't have was a real Madam Web. Like, and that's probably coming in part three. But the heart of that movie is so strong. It's just like you feel Miguel's pain about how he called the incursion, and you know what I'm saying, and how everything's so fragile, and everybody has an Uncle Ben or their dad. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what arc you're on. You can't say you have to have tragedy to be a Spider-Man. You feel me? Like there's no Spider-Man that didn't have a tragedy that didn't turn him into Spider-Man. If you don't have tragedy, you can't be Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Just like that's why the incursion happened when they saved the one cop, sheriff, or whatever in the Indian world for the Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? When they saved him and saved the girl, it was just like, okay, we got to come in and try to fix something because we just created a paradox or incursion, basically. Uh, so and that's what I'm saying, man. I want to see Miguel so bad. I want to see that. I want to see them coming to live action or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Because I would love to see Poe in live action. Oh my god! See, that's what I'm saying. Like to me, two live action is a standard, but overall, over scoping, like the story for the story for Into the Spider Verse, that origin story is ridiculous, especially with Peter trying to find himself. Also, like I think that I'm just like, God, man, this is really like Spider-Man One. It is so intricate, like in everything they did um, with those two movies. It's like I'm looking I'm like, okay, man, they couldn't have really gave Miles any better justice than they did. You know what I'm saying? Especially how all the flack he got when he first was, made. It was just like, okay, well, a lot of people rejected Miles at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So for this movie to kind of give it that energy, but give it its own energy. I just feel like, personally, I always include Spider Verse and stuff like that. I feel like those are the de facto Spider Man because they have Peter in there, and Peter when he tell you, look, bro, it's a leap of faith. I don't know everything. It's a leap of faith, bro. You know what I'm saying? And at the end, he was like, yo, you can't do this by yourself. I got this, man. I got this. You
Hmm.
need to go home, bro. I got this. So uh, I just feel like the heart that part one had in part two, Spider Man Sam Raimi, I really, in my heart of heart, feel like Spider Verse has it. Like, it just has it, man. Like, I sit down, I'll be like, okay. Like, movies I've shown my son, you know what I'm saying? I showed him Across Spider Verse, Into Spider Verse, and both the Spider Man.
Hmm. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's Hey, I agree. I agree, man. And
And
hopefully we
Tom
see
Holland,
that.
sorry, I don't want to get on Tom Holland. I don't want to be negative. I don't
Uh-huh.
Spider. I don't like the Iron Spider at all. I
No,
do.
I get it.
Only
I
get
think the
Spider.
only way we see that cross dimensional thing where we go from live action to animation would probably be in a what if. Like if they ever made a what if movie. I don't, to your point, I don't think the Russos have the stones to do it Dixon way. But I mean, hey, you
Wait,
never
no,
know.
but that's what I'm saying. Sony did it. As soon as you showing Uncle Ben and Spider Man one dying, and
Hmm.
referencing, Daniel Glover in what was that? No Way Home?
Hmm.
Was it No Way Home he was in?
Homecoming.
No, 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 no. That's the one with the vulture. So
No, he shows up and he doesn't show up and like do much. He just kind of, I think Peter interrogates him for like a couple
yeah,
seconds,
yeah,
and
yeah. That's the one
he
with the
has the
vulture.
same
So,
name. Yeah,
yeah, so that's
yeah,
part.
yeah,
Yeah, that's Homecoming. So when I look at
yeah.
it, I'm like, those type of things are very endearing. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Vulture, one of my favorite villains. Short lived. Still one of my favorite villains. That the MCU ever had. Uh, I really like that move for that. I just dislike him trying to be Iron Man and impress when Spider Man's always been, and I understand why they did that because they wanted him to be a part of Infinity War. He had to be. Understand that. Uh, but damn, man, I just want a friendly neighborhood Spider Man. That's all. You know. And am I asking too much? I mean, Mysterio. Don't get me on that. Oh my God, man, Mysterio. I really didn't even
You know
understand
what?
the
I,
movie.
I
I
I
could
think
have watched it
Mysterio.
and
You saw
then
what, Larry? You saw what?
I could have literally watched the end of that movie just to go to No Way Home. That's literally the only reason. I don't need to see Spider Monkey. I don't need to see all these special effects and it's all about Tony robots and at the fair man, no, man, I don't like Mysterio in the first place. But this
I,
was so convoluted, and
yeah.
then you were testing the intelligence of Nick Fury. Nick Fury was fooled by this stupid stuff. That's another thing that really pissed me off because they were just like the Marvels. They dumbed down Nick Fury. The biggest spy in the world couldn't figure this out. Nick Fury. Nick
That's
Fury.
yeah. That's a good
A
point.
bag of jokes in the Marvels. Oh, one of the worst MCU movies ever. Oh my God. But but yeah, man, when you take Nick Fury and he wouldn't figure this out, the guy who had his messed up eye be the identification, but nobody would think of that except for him. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, no, you're right because I think Fury was the one who figured out Secret Wars, and Fury's a salty dog, man. You don't get anything behind.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. Planet Texas podcast has he brought up something. He says
What's
I
up, Planet?
think Doctor Doom brings back Aunt May. Could turn bringing back Aunt May could turn one of the Spider-Men bad. And I
Ooh.
guess he's talking about the one from obviously the MCU. Jordan, what do you think about this? If this were to happen, what do you think about this?
I mean, I think that's it's an interesting theory. I don't. I never shut down any theories because literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanted to say we're gonna see pigs fly in Secret Wars, I would not be shocked if for some reason we see pigs actually flying in Secret Wars. Um, I I mean, Doctor Doom. If you want to get on a real mental like battle, Doctor Doom could do that. Because I mean, it's very easy. You can easily have any actor play Doctor Doom and make them physically intimidating, like in terms of their powers and skill set and like their
Mhm.
magical work. But if you can get them to be psychologically impressive, that's where the writing and the actor need to do a great job. Robert Downey Jr. and the Russos need to do a great job of doing that. And I think if you want to be a great psychological villain, I think it would be very interesting if he were to bring Aunt May to kind of sway one of the Spider-Man. I mean, if you could theoretically see any of the Spider-Man, you could say that Tobey Maguire's Aunt May died. You can say that Andrew Garfield's Aunt May died, and you could say Tom Holland's Aunt May died because we don't really know the continuation of Toby's or Andrew's Aunt May's, and we
True.
know that Tom Holland's Aunt May is dead. So you could theoretically say that one of the Spider-Man could get turned if Doctor Doom pushes Aunt May.
You want to hear something interesting about that, Jordan? So the actress that played Aunt
Hmm.
May in the first series is still alive. She's 95 years old.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Oh, I know. I love her so much.
I do love
I
her.
think about
I
her
do
all
love
the
her.
time when I watch these movies.
oh
I
I
love
yeah.
do
her.
love
She,
her. She just makes you want to give her a hug. You said what, Dixon Way?
Yeah.
like seriously, she's defendant of Aunt May. Like that's awesome. They
Oh
have to
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
have to.
Let's talk about. I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 59%. Metacritic gave it 59. Box office gave it $890 million. Which you say what you want to. That may have been the most successful Spider-Man. You know what? I'm gonna look up the
It
gross.
was. It
But
was the most successful
I
grossing Spider-Man of the trilogy.
Yeah, if you adjust the inflation, I think it is. But oh my god, it made that. I went to see it on opening night, so I know. I
mm,
mean, I went to see it on Thursday, excuse me, and that's when
mm,
Thursday was like extra early. I went
mm,
Hmm.
Thursday at 9 o'clock. Me and my friends went to see that. Yeah.
mm. All right. Let's talk about the costumes and effects. Let me tell you something. The fight scenes between Peter and the Goblin, who Dixon Wade loves so much. I love the fight scenes, man. I love the fight scenes. I love the way they did that. I love the maneuverability. I love the fact that it was constant motion. I love the fact that they were constantly falling. I love the fight scenes. Um, and I like the black suit. And you know what? Sam Raimi just does a great Spider-Man suit anyway. Because when you look at the stills and he's in the suit, the detail is just so outstanding. Even if you look at this graphic right here, even if you juxtapose light and dark, the detail, the care, I feel like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man suit is the best. And guys, if I'm wrong, then you can call me out. But that's just my personal opinion. How do we
I,
feel about the Venom suit? How do we feel about the Sandman? Dixon Way, give me your thoughts.
Sandman was excellent the way they did him, his story arc. Perfect Spider-Man villain.
What
Never.
about his suit, though? I'm talking about his suit. How do you feel about his suit? How do you feel about his costume, his effects?
Yeah, his effects was awesome, man. Venom was awesome. I don't know. It looked kind of janky. I don't know if it. I may need to go back and just. Uh, I guess, man. I'll pop it in just to see what the effects are. But that's a movie that I will fast forward through just to get to the spots that I want to see. So yeah, I may do that. I think Venom probably holds up. I know Sandman does. Sandman might look better than No Way Home. Am I tripping?
I don't. No, I don't think. I don't think you. I don't think you are. Jordan,
No,
thoughts?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
think
I
you
mean,
are.
I thought, and I love in like there's a small scene in Spider-Man No Way Home when Sandman he's on the couch in Happy's apartment and he's patting to like swipe off some sand, but he keeps getting sand every time he swipes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a small little scene that I'm it's so funny. It's because this is what he has to deal with all the time.
Yep. Yep.
And I know you said that Lizard was not, that Doc Connors wasn't undeveloped, but he was really funny in that movie. Like he was low
He
key funny.
was. He was.
Yeah, like I was like, hold up,
Yes.
really? Lizard is just like John,
Mhm.
like Connor, Doc Connors is just like cracking jokes, So yeah, and to me, outside of Doc Ock and of course the great one, uh, Green Goblin. I really like Jamie Foxx had the biggest redemption out of any
Mhm.
villain in
Yes.
the history of comics, bro. Like that redemption was legendary. He was a real villain in this, and not no goofy ass villain. He wasn't. Oh my goodness. But yeah, again, more like yeah, yeah.
I,
They
I think this movie continues the reluctant hero theme
yeah,
because again, if you look at Sandman, he's trying to do what he can to save his daughter.
he does
Um,
disgusting things though.
he does, but he's trying to do what he can to save his daughter. To
I get
me, of all the Spider-Man villains, M- Mysterio is the most malevolent because he knows what he's doing, and he's doing it on purpose. And he, even in his death, he's trying to cause chaos. So
it.
for me,
It really was whack. Like
it
yeah,
was, but I'm just saying his motivations. To me, Mysterio is the most malevolent. Even if you look at Vulture, Vulture was, he's a merc. He's doing this for money. He's not
uh,
really.
yeah, for his family. Yeah, he was doing it to
He's
make.
doing it for money.
Yeah,
But Mephisto was doing it. Mephisto's evil. I guess what I'm saying is, to me, of all of the villains, right? Even Electro was kind of misunderstood, overlooked guy. Then he becomes Electro. Now he's Carrie. You know what I mean? He has like that Carrie storyline. Well, oh, I'm gonna show you now, like you guys. You know what I mean? But he was at heart misunderstood, and he was angry with Spider-Man because he felt rejected. To me, Mysterio's just doing it because he's evil. But again, we got three folks on this panel. Jordan, Larry, give me your thoughts. Who do you think is the most malevolent or evil villain of all of the Spider-Man movies?
Goblin. Heartbeat.
yeah, and that ain't even a
In a
question.
heartbeat.
Goblin,
Yeah,
man.
but he's insane.
Yeah.
He's insane
Uh,
Yeah,
though, right?
exactly. He will do anything. He will do anything. He will kill anyone, including his own son,
oh
to
my
get
god,
what he wants.
I'm so sorry,
That's crazy.
Peter. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but he's insane. Mephisto is just evil. Like Mephisto knows what he's doing, right? I mean,
No,
I don't know.
man, Mephisto is a Mephisto is literally an internet troll trolling Tony Starks. He
He
ain't
is.
evil, bro.
He
He's
is.
whack.
But he's still evil.
Oh,
I'm not saying he's
oh,
sexy.
whack.
I'm not saying he's sexy. I'm just saying he's evil. I'm just
He's
saying his,
evil.
he's
Dude,
evil.
yo. All right, look at it like this. This dude is literally some guy who was mad that Tony Stark called his thing garbage or whatever he named it. You know what I'm saying? Like he is a nerd that was mad that he is literally the definition of an internet troll. Like a troll. That dude was a troll.
Okay.
Like
All right.
look at it like this. Oh my God, I created this, and then Tony Starks belittled me and calling it garbage or whatever. I forgot the nickname he called it, but that's why he became a villain. Really,
Mm.
really, and then you looked up and got Tony Stark glasses. Like, come on, man! Like,
Yeah, but you caused the whole thing in Spider-Man 4. Like you caused so much chaos just because you could. Like I get that the Green Goblin, the original Goblin, was was a murderer, but he was crazy. He
Godspeed,
was
Spider-Man.
crazy. He was crazy, right? Mephisto is with I don't know. All right.
No, man. And Mephisto is literally the wackest villain in
No, to me, he's
Spider-Man.
not the wackest villain
So
in the
whack.
MCU. To me, the wackest villain is the one from Iron Man 3 who was acting like the Mandalorian. He was an actor.
No. I say in the Spider-Man.
No, I'm just saying in the MCU verse. In the if you want to say Mephisto, that's fine, but I feel like Mephisto's
The internet troll,
intentions
bro.
are malevolent. Like to turn an
Yeah.
entire planet against somebody is evil.
T-Will. T-Will. More to my point, man. He was an internet troll. That literally was like someone trolling and putting some fake out about you, you know,
Okay.
and then the world believing it because
Yeah, look at what it
that ain't
caused though,
that
Dixon Way.
ain't, that's not evil. That's an internet troll.
That is evil, bro.
It's an
He
internet
caught
troll.
he,
That whole movie was a plot device to move the
it
note.
was. It
It
was.
literally was, man.
It was.
That's
I
why it's the
agree.
worst Spider-Man ever. That's why I keep like struggling with that
It was
Spider-Man
a
3.
plot
Because
device.
Spider-Man 3 had a plot. That movie was literally a plot device to get to the next movie.
I
Like
get
it's
that,
so bad. Like
but
you
that's
didn't need to
so
watch that movie.
evil though. You don't
He
think that's
wasn't evil,
evil?
man.
That was
He
very
was not.
evil.
He
You
wasn't.
could argue he caused Doctor Strange, what is it, Universe of Madness or whatever. He caused that. He caused that.
No,
Because
that
if
was
he
dumb.
doesn't,
Hold up.
he caused that.
Another reason, look, the only thing I don't like about Multiverse of Madness is Peter was
He caused it because Peter was like, I got friends. He was
he
like,
so
I'm not worried about me, but I got friends whose lives are irreparably damaged. Can you just help me out? But he caused that. That was all Mephisto. You don't think that's evil? Jordan, you
look,
don't think that's
look,
evil?
look. No Way
That
Home.
is
All right,
evil, man.
look at it like this. In No Way Home, the only reason, like the only reason that Far Away from Home really exists is to start the beginning plot of No Way Home. Because when you look at it, at the end of the thing, first everything was started because Peter didn't think about just going and talking to the person, to the board of directors lady. You know what I'm saying? Uh Peter is really dumb. Like Peter Parker is not supposed to be dumb. He's supposed to be one of the smartest people on earth. Like Peter's not dumb, he's just poor. Okay. I don't like how they got Peter being dumb and then for plot devices they make him smart.
Mm.
Like
Let's see what
hey guys,
Jordan.
you ever seen that Star Wars movie? Oh yeah, the ad. Yeah, let's wrap him up around the legs and then knock him over. I, it's just gonna get me into why I don't really like Tom Holland's on Spider-Man. How he's written. He's written to be an Avenger, and Spider-Man's. I know he's been an Avenger before. I understand that. Spider-Man at the core is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And all these things, it just comes back to that fact. Like he wasn't evil, man.
Mephisto was very
Was
evil.
literally an
That's
MIT.
like starting a rumor about that is so evil, Dixon Way. That is
That's
evil.
that's internet troll evil, not world domination evil. That's internet troll evil. There's a difference between
I'm talking about even Thanos. Now, if you want to say Thanos in the comics is evil, Thanos is all about death. He is. But
yes.
Thanos in the MCU is doing this because he legitimately feels like the universe itself will not survive if he doesn't kill half of the people in it. So
I
you could argue that his motivations are not evil.
I love that rewrite, but he is evil because he's committing genocide.
He's not evil. I'm saying here's what I'm saying. Right?
Hold up.
Here's what I'm saying.
We just
It's
reached
the
the
end
point
result
that we
is
need to get
bad.
this clear right now.
The end result is bad. I'm not saying it's good.
Man,
But I'm saying his motivations are not evil. They're not evil, Larry. They're not. They're
so,
not.
so you're justifying genocide.
I'm not just. No, I didn't.
These are the
I'm
thoughts
not
of T-Will. Hold
justifying
up.
it. I'm
Say
not.
that right now. These are the thoughts of T-Will. Jordan, this is
I'm not
yourself on that, Jordan.
justifying genocide.
Jordan,
I'm not saying that.
Jordan, this is yourself. Say these are the thoughts of T-Will. T-Will
I'm
is
not justifying it.
genocide.
I'm not justifying genocide, Larry. What I'm saying is his motivation. I'm not just. Don't look at me. I'm not. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is his motivation. His motivation is to save the universe, albeit misguided,
By killing half
albeit wrong,
the universe.
albeit disgusting.
From
His
blood,
motivation. You said what?
killing half living beings
I'm not
in the universe.
justifying it. I'm not justifying it. It is disgusting.
You
But
did.
his motivation
You
is to
justified it.
save the universe.
So Thanos was right.
Mephisto is to turn the entire world against one person. You don't think that's evil?
That's internet troll evil. That
Oh
has.
my God. Okay. All right. Whatever.
Hold on. Jordan, do you agree with me saying that that's
Yeah.
internet troll evil, or is that real evil? Is he up there with the Joker because he wanted to play a prank on Peter?
I'm not saying that.
Oh my God, man.
um
We're talking about an internet troll.
I'm not saying that.
He's an internet troll villain.
Oh my God. Jordan,
Am I
regale us.
wrong?
I think
He's an
I think
internet
you
troll.
I
He's
think
literally
you
an internet troll.
I think you both are right in your own ways. Um Mysterio, the one thing that annoys me with this Mysterio is there's no like after plan, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to be an Avenger. He wants to be an Avenger. That's like his goal. He wants to be looked at as Avenger. He wants to be so popular and stuff. But if he goes through his plan that happens in Far From Home, let's just say that happens. Let's say everything works out to what he wants to happen. What's going to happen when a Thanos level threat shows up to Earth? Because he can't defend himself. He's got projections. Like
Right.
he
Right.
legit can't do anything. He
Right.
is an internet troll in terms of his thought process of of his scorn for Tony Stark. It
Thank
makes
you.
no sense whatsoever. That makes no sense. I think what makes him evil, though, is that he wants to go through all of this.
Yeah.
And he's willing to kill people and just slaughter anyone in his way. Children, Spider-Man. He doesn't care. Just so that he can get his way and be this popular figure. So, I mean, when it comes to like the villains and stuff, he has the least amount of like plot depth of any Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's a bad villain. I want to make that clear. I don't think he's a bad villain.
I
I
don't think
just
so.
don't think he has a lot of depth. And I love Jake Gyllenhaal's performance. Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors. And when I heard he was going to be Mysterio, I'm like, I'm ready for this. And I think he did exactly what was given in terms of his role. And him and Tom Holland were best buddies. I remember that press tour very clearly. They were best friends on that entire tour. I loved watching all the interviews of them together. And I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal did what was given in the script. And I just don't think the script was very well thought out. That's why they got a different writer for Spider-Man No Way Home. But I don't think it's a bad movie. I also, like I said before, I don't think it's this great movie either, especially when Spider-Man's on a high pedestal in general. I think this is just a solid movie that if I'm not going to recommend it to like the average fan over other Spider-Man movies, but if I'm recommending the movie just generally speaking, I'll be like, you know what, you'll have a fun time just putting it on and watching it. It's not like going to be the craziest thing you've ever watched, but it's not going to be terrible. I've seen worse. I've seen better.
Okay.
You like that better than
Nerd King called me out, and he's right. I keep calling him Mephisto. Who Mephisto is the devil.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant Mysterio. Sorry about that, Nerd King. I just just charged to me being old. Sorry about that.
Mysterio. We know what you meant, but yeah, he's right. Guys, he's just an internet troll. I cannot believe that we are debating. He's by far one of the worst villains in the history of comics. Like it's an internet troll.
I get it, man. I'm just saying what he did was just evil. Like I guess for me, it's about your intentions, right? It's about why you do a thing.
But
right?
don't trolls do that? Don't troll.
I get it, but it's evil. It's evil. Would you not agree
that that's evil?
Would you not agree that Twitter is an evil place?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's awful. It's an awful place.
This dude, no man, this dude was literally Skip Bayless.
Oh wow! Oh, you did not. Oh my God! You did not call Mysterio Skip Bayless. You did not do that.
And Iron Man was LeBron. That's what it was. Why would they make a villain? Who wrote that story, man? That's horrible.
Oh.
That's horrible.
That's why they got a different writer.
Oh my God.
That's my whole
point. Oh my God.
Horrible.
Oh wow.
Why am I watching a movie about an internet troll?
Oh man.
Oh my God, I got this on Spiderman. He's Peter Parker. That's what an internet troll would do.
That's true. That's true.
They're like, yo, I know. He got embarrassed in high school. Look, I got the footage. That's what an internet troll would do. How can y'all like that movie? Oh my God, that movie is so it's so bad, man.
I mean, I guess for me, Dixon Way, like I enjoy film, right? So I enjoy I enjoy watching the mechanisms and the motivations, and you know, I guess because of my friend Jordan here and our little project we got going, I guess I have the ability to watch a movie that's not great and appreciate it because I'm looking for things, right? Now, on the strength of a movie, if I just go and watch it, like, but if I'm judging it, you know what I mean? Like if we got to do a podcast on it, it's going to be more interesting because I'm looking for character arcs, right? I'm looking for motivations, right? I'm looking for themes. So, you know, I mean, you're right in the sense that he is an internet troll in every sense of the way. I mean, I can't debate that, but I just think for me, it's about why he did it. And that is just, to me, it's just innately evil. It's innately evil to speak a lie about a person that you know is a lie that's going to impact their life forever and turn an entire planet again. That is just evil. You know, but whatever. I hear you, and you're not wrong.
Cancel culture.
Let's get into the little known fact.
Movie was about cancel culture, man.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You know what, Dixon Way? I'm gonna invite you when we finally get to that. I pray to God that you're available that weekend because I want you to come back and talk about it. I really do. I really do. I want you to come back and talk about it.
Nothing else to say, man. Let's repeat this.
Oh no, I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm
gonna make sure I send you an invitation ahead of time, bro. I really am.
Movie is trashed by Dixon Way. It's about it. Spider-Man versus an internet troll.
I can't wait to review it now. I can't wait to review it now. Hey, this was the most expensive film at the time. It had a record-setting weekend.
Okay.
There were 900 plus VX shots. It was based on the 80s symbiote comics. Raimi, to you guys' point, did resist Venom. So you guys are right about that. There is an extended Venom origin cut. The the black suit was spray tracked.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, story
Mhm.
drafted before Spider-Man 2 release. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So that is interesting. Let's get into what worked and what didn't. Sandman's arc worked, VX and emotion worked, Maguire's performance worked. What didn't? Overcrowded villains, uneven tone, shallow venom, and that godforsaken finger scene and the club scene didn't work. I, oh my god! And I think I texted you, Jordan, when I was watching it, and I'm like, you know what?
Mhm.
That scene is still bad. It's still
Mhm.
bad. It's just bad. Guys, did I leave anything off this list, or are we good with
Um,
that?
Spider-Man.
I actually disagree that Tobey Maguire's performance worked in this, mainly because I don't think it had anything to do with Tobey himself. I
Okay,
just don't think that his character was written all that great. So, but I think Toby just did solid with what he was given.
okay,
I mean, visual effects, and I also don't think the emotions worked outside of Sandman. Like in all throughout the movie, like I did feel less emotion in this movie. Like the first two movies can make you tear up. This movie, at no point in this movie did I feel that way. Um,
even at the end when
the
Harry dies, it didn't make you sad when Harry dies.
Mainly
Spoiler alert.
because it rang I mean, we're reviewing the whole movie. Forget about spoiler alerts.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it rang hollow, and it to this day it rings hollow because as like he's fighting Peter throughout the beginning of the film, then he has to restart his journey, and then he he gets back into hating Peter, and then he finally learns his lesson from his butler, and then has to restart his journey again, and it just by the time he dies, you're like, oh no. Okay, anyways.
Oh
But
wow!
I,
Oh wow!
Basically,
Oh
I
wow!
don't
spot on.
and that's how you screw up a character who's been in your film in three films. That's how you screw it up. Because I mean, it should have been very emotional, but because there was like constant turning with this character in this specific film, we didn't feel the emotional attachment. Like if and especially in Spider-Man 2. Like in Spider-Man 2, we see him become the Harry from the comics, like very like egotistical. He's got all the money and stuff from his dad. And then by the end of the film, he realizes that Peter is Spider-Man and is distraught. That in my opinion, that kind of screwed him because we felt less attached to Harry and Peter's relationship than we were in the first film. Because in the first film, we felt that attachment very very closely. I mean, they were roommates, they're friends in high school. I mean, Peter and Harry's and Norman have a great relationship. Like we felt that connection. But over the course of the next two movies, we started to see them separate slowly. And generally speaking, the visual effects in this movie are phenomenal. I
Mhm.
mean, they hold up to this day. They
They
hold
do.
up to this day. The
They do.
detail. All right, this is one thing I want to say, and it came to my head just now. I think this suit, as great as it is my favorite Spider-Man costume ever. I think it screwed the rest of the MCU and how they design their suits because that added webbing, it's fantastic. That
It is.
three-dimensional webbing you see
It
on the
really is.
suits,
It
it's
really is.
perfect,
It is. It,
beautiful.
it
It's
is.
added lines. Guess what's the main issue of all MCU suits from 2008 to now? That extra lining that they randomly add into suits into like the abs of like Captain America in some of the Black Panther suits. There's just unnecessary extra lining, and I wonder if they were trying to just add
Recreate
more
that.
depth
Yeah.
to those suits to do
Yeah.
something that Toby Maguire and Sam Raimi did with this suit. I
Yeah.
wonder that because immediately following this, movie is when you started to see those suits have that extra lining.
You know what? When the scene where he sees Eddie Brock and he's in the red and blue Spider-Man suit, it is so detailed. It is.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the comic and I feel like I'm really watching Spider-Man from the comics. Like
Mm-hmm.
the detail. He doesn't even say much, but just that scene is so powerful
Yeah.
just in the look of that. So yeah, I agree with that. I do. I agree with that. I agree with that
Horrible
one.
Eddie Brock too, right?
You said what?
Horrible Eddie Brock also, right?
Eh, not great.
Okay.
Topher
Not
Grace
I
should
don't,
have
I
never
don't want
been Eddie Brock.
yeah.
Exactly. He's way too little to be Eddie Brock. Like, why do I
Yes.
have that guy, the 70s
And I
kid?
like Topher Grace.
Exactly, but no. No, that
Yeah,
threw
I do too.
like, why am I watching? I'm waiting for his homies to come up and they start to smoke weed. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are
Oh wow. Oh man, what did overcrowded villains, uneven tone, shallow venom development? Uh th-
It was like one of the studio heads, like, I like that 70s show. Yeah, yeah,
and it could have been. It you know what? It very well could have been. It very well could have been.
yeah.
Nerd King says it's all good, T Will. Thank you, Nerd King. I appreciate that. Hey, so I just added this, Jordan. I should have told you, but I added like a
Mhm.
rewatchable score, right? Because we're rewatching a lot of these,
Okay.
and I thought that'd be cool. Jordan's like, it would have been nice if you would have told me, T. Will, but okay. Um, give me on a 1 to 10, and it's too far. It's too late to go back and do all the ones we've done. So we'll keep it in the
Yeah.
movies. We don't have to keep score, but how rewatch? And I want to ask the same thing to Larry. But how rewatchable is this movie for you, Jordan? Scale of 1 to 10.
I mean, when I factor in my normal scores, I do factor in rewatchability.
Okay.
That's very important to me because I mean, I feel like for me, I will rewatch anything that I love. Like I'm literally falling asleep to The Office right now, and I've rewatched that a lot of times. Um,
Okay.
and with this movie, I love Spider-Man. And I would say the only one that's not rewatchable is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think I just don't find it rewatchable at all. Like I can't put it on in the background as background noise. With this movie, because of the action, because of this like for me rewatchable is like, can I shut off my brain, do a bunch of work, do make a puzzle, play video games, and have this on in the background? And I think this is pretty rewatchable. Um, I mean, when you get taken out is obviously those dancing scenes, and just in general, the whole that again that three-quarter part of the movie where you have Harry trying to get MJ to break up with Peter. It's just that part really kicks you out of the whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a 7 out of 10 is. I think it's pretty close to that. I'd probably also give it a 7 out of 10 in terms of how rewatchable it is. And I mean, yeah, when it comes to the action scenes, they're fantastic. I mean, you're also talking about this is the third movie of two movies that, in my opinion, are two of the most rewatchable superhero movies ever. So, um, 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's I agree with that.
All right. Dixon Way, rewatchable score. Spider-Man 3. I already know what he's gonna say. Dixon Way, what you got? You're cut out. You're muted, Dixon Way. I think you're muted. Can't hear you.
Lowest score you guys ever had?
Lowest?
Yeah.
What was it?
I
1.5?
had one yet.
No, we haven't done
Well, my
Catwoman.
lowest, if I was doing rewatchability score for my lowest, I mean, I think Captain Marvel, in my opinion, is the least rewatchable. I mean, I fall asleep to that. Like, I just can't. It's a hard time. I mean, oof, I'd probably give that like a 2.5. Because it's Marvel. Actually, no, I'd probably give it higher. When it comes to Marvel, I find Marvel and DC just more rewatchable than a lot of other movies. So, like Captain Marvel, for example, even though that is my least rewatchable movie, I will watch it more than the average other movie, just because that also sucks because it is a Marvel project at the end of the day.
I can't watch Miss Marvel or the Marvels. It's actually worse. Um, this is up there, man. Like the action scenes is what have me kind of like go through fast forward, look at the action scene, fast forward through all the BS. We'll see another scene. See Sandman being sad. We'll see another action scene.
Mm-hmm.
Sandman being more sad. Spider-Man understanding. Um, Harry being a douche. Marty McFly, Goblin. Yeah, Marty McFly.
man.
Hmm.
I don't care about his redemption. Horrible way to end a character arc for a trilogy. Horrible way. Horrible. Almost as bad as Batman just going off with Catwoman and never fighting crime again. But we're not talking about Christopher Nolan. We're talking about Sam Raimi. Yes. Yeah, I would probably give this a 5.
Okay, that's fair. Now that's the rewatchability score because we're gonna give it an overall rating in a few minutes.
Yeah,
But
a 5. I wouldn't go out of my way to rewatch it. I have not watched that in over 10 years.
okay,
And didn't miss it. I may rewatch it now just because you guys were talking about it, but from my memory, it's just not really rewatchable. I mean, it's not Rise of Skywalker bad, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, but I'm not gonna find my way. I will turn away. I'll probably turn away if it's on like FX, you know what I'm saying? Or if nothing's on, no sporting event, I may watch that. I may. If depending on what spots it in. But if we're doing this, hell no, I'm out. I'm gonna watch Naked and Afraid.
fair enough. All right. Last thing, do you guys think Tobey Maguire is in Doomsday? Yay or nay?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, we got Craig in the chat. Craig says just wanted to stop in and say what's up. What up, Craig? Yeah. So you think Tobey Maguire's in Doomsday? Jordan, what say you?
Secret Wars, not Doomsday. I don't think he's
I've been.
Doomsday. I think Secret Wars, but not Doomsday.
I've been.
Of actors on Doom. I'm kind of remembering all the actors that Cheers because I watched 2 hours of it. So when they were just revealing the cast in Cheers, I don't remember Toby's name. I could be wrong, but I had to get up for a bathroom break and stuff like that. But I don't remember Toby's name. If he is, yeah, he's definitely in there. But it's out there. They got a list of the names that's in Doomsday. I think it's in Secret Wars for sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I've been thinking about this for a while because like I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be in Doomsday because like of the characters they've said they have not mentioned Toby, Andrew, Hugh Jackman, or Ryan Reynolds, or Jennifer Gardner or Wesley Snipes. I'd be curious to, and what my prediction is for Doomsday is that all or 80% of those characters are going to die, and then Secret Wars will be everybody else. So my gut feeling is they're not going to kill Tobey Maguire off in Doomsday. If they're going to ever kill him off, it would be in Secret Wars. Him and Hugh Jackman. If I ever see either of them die, they're going to go out in a blaze of glory because those are two. And Wesley Snipes. I will put all three of those actors in the same in the same place because without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. So they all should go out with a bang.
They have to. They have to. Like Wesley Snipes, it was so cool seeing Wesley Snipes. It was so cool seeing him be like, hey, ain't never gonna be another me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. They say that Blade's gonna get back started. I believe when I see it, when
Yeah, me too. I agree.
happen. But yeah, I kind of get the same feeling. Like, no way that Toby dies in Doomsday, even if he's in it. I don't think he's gonna be in it. I think it's going to be Peter 1, and then in Secret Wars they're gonna get Peter 2 and Peter 3. That's what I think gonna happen.
Okay.
And so Peter 1 and 2 are gonna be fighting against Peter 3. I personally think that Peter 1 is gonna either die in Doomsday or in Secret Wars. He's gonna die though.
Okay.
He's gonna die.
All right. That's fair. Guys, speaking of deaths, who is give me the most awesome death in a comic book for any Marvel hero? Like the death scene where you were just like, hey man, if you gotta go out, that's how you go out. What you got, Jordan?
I mean, Doctor Doom killing Thanos in Secret Wars by ripping his skull out of his body, like his skeleton out of his body. That is wow. That is the craziest death I've ever seen of it in any sort of literature.
For me, it's a scene with Thor and Hyperion where I think it's the comic book where the worlds are colliding. They're encroaching upon each other. Incursions, I believe, is what I think it's New Avengers. And anyway, in this comic, you got two choices. You can either sit there and die, or you can destroy the other world, but one of you is gonna die. And in this one, Thor and Hyperion are taking on somebody, and it's sudden death. And Hyperion says, do you think there's an afterlife or whatever? Something like that. But anyway, they race each other to their death. And that to me was like, just the death scene where I was like, that was awesome, just the way they went out. Dixon Way, what you got? I know you got a litany of stories. Give me your most glorious death scene in a Marvel comic book.
I don't know. Was that God level Doom ripping out Thanos?
Yeah.
King Thanos. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yep.
That's pretty up there, man. That's Mortal Kombat style. I mean, finish him. That's pretty up there. And Gray Beard, Thanos. Yeah, that might be it. I would say in the Infinity Gauntlet saga, I would say how Captain America died. Really, everybody trying to basically distract Thanos enough for Adam Warlock to come out and say, "Ha ha! I have the." When you think about it, I'm so glad the Russos changed that.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Listen here
and then you didn't have Silver Surfer in that iteration either. So
yeah, but I'm so glad that you didn't have Thanos courting death. That would have cut off. A lot of people would have hated that.
Yeah, they would. Well, they wouldn't have understood it. They wouldn't have understood it. So I get why they did that.
Now, mind you, I wish that they didn't go away from all this stuff, because the female who played Lady Death,
Miss Death,
all along would have been perfect.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, Larry? Yeah. In the first Avengers, they kind of drop a double entendre to it. That's why you got to watch, because they have these little Easter eggs. So at the end of the Avengers, I forget who's talking to Thanos, but he says, to take on these humans is to court death, which we know Thanos in the comics is all about courting Mistress Death. So there's like this callback to that unless you read the comics, you're not going to catch.
Yeah, no.
Right?
I got what they were doing, but I'm so glad. But that was when Josh Whedon was doing it. So I think Josh Whedon was playing it on possibly doing it that way. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad that those changed it up and switched it up. That actually like making Thanos kind, as you would say, sympathetic. Your sympathetic villain,
Well, I wouldn't call him sympathetic.
just justifying genocide.
I'm not justifying genocide. I'm just saying his motivation was not, the end result was evil. Yes, it was. The end result was catastrophic. And you got to be a psychopath to even think that. But what I'm saying is his motivation, although extreme, was to save life in the universe. That was my only point. I'm not
Remember,
saying I was in love with what he did. He killed half the universe. Of course he's a murderer. Of course he
but
deserved death.
but
But I get where he was coming from. And
he
especially
will. He will. Do you forget he used to fly to planet and slaughter half the population before he got that?
I
Forget
know. I look
come back on
Thanos,
the ship
he
covered with blood. Did you
he
forget that? And
he's committed. He's committed, man. He's committed.
okay.
I'm not saying he's a nice guy. I'm not saying he's Mr. Rogers. I'm just saying his end game is to save all of the universe. And you got to think of his background in the MCU. In the MCU, in this version, his planet did starve to death. It died from overpopulation.
I'm going to put it back, and I think that the Russos stole Christopher Nolan's swagger when the Joker said, "Guess what? You got to choose who's going to live," and it was a social experiment between you got regular old folks and
That's right. And the criminals.
to
Yeah.
kill all
Yeah.
the criminals,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's
That
basically
was
what.
such a that to me, Dark Knight is the best
Yeah,
superhero
he
movie
he
ever.
chooses between
It's the
good
best
or
superhero movie.
evil. You know what I'm saying? He just said, "I want to kill everybody," and you take a little girl and you warp her mind and saying, "Guess what? I had to kill your mama," and she was so uh mentally broken that she never really broke out of it until like 20 something years later. Like it's some lot like it's some really deep stuff about that Thanos. It's just like it wasn't nothing really sympathetic about him at all. You can say,
I'm
okay,
not sympathizing with him.
you do sympathize with him.
I'm not. I'm saying I
You
understood
will
his.
say that Thanos is right. You one of the people that
I
said
do. I do. No, 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 no. I would never say Thanos is right. I would never say Thanos is right. But both things can be true. I can understand why you're robbing a bank. That doesn't mean I root for you to take my money. That just means I understand why you're robbing the bank. I understood what he was doing. I didn't root for him. I didn't want to see all those people die. That was horrible. But I understood it, is what I'm saying.
and,
And again, you know what? Hey,
no,
look, I
no,
get
no,
what
no,
you're saying.
no. But that's a good point, and these are the things I wish the MCU would have delve into because the most interesting part in Phase 4 and 5 with the MCU was anything they did with the snap. Now I hated how they just marginalized the re-snapping, you know what I'm saying, or everyone coming back, the reverse of the snap.
Yeah.
I hate how they marginalized it in Homecoming. I hate that, man. To the point, it's just like, oh, let's just bring it back in a joke. The way they did in the One Division was so much like that's what it is, man. Like people coming back don't know what the heck happened. Family members think you're dead when they did it in Endgame. It's just like Ant-Man came back because of a dang on rat ran across the board and opened the portal. It's just
Yeah.
like, bro, you come back, you see a memorial of people, long memorial, everybody dead. You coming back in the neighborhood, it's all junked up kid that's looking at you like you don't know what's going on.
Mm.
Have you been? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the way I like how like in Endgame, yeah, Captain America being in a focus group about people who are dealing with the snap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that
Now,
too.
now, now, hold up. What did they call it in Spider-Man to minimize it? I forgot.
Jordan.
The blip.
Yes. Oh my
The
God, I
blip.
hate that. I hate the blip. I hate that they made it. I know they made it like a joke, and so I hate that was like. I hate
But
that's
that's what kids would do. That's 100% what high schoolers would do.
I know that, but
That's
no,
100% what they would do.
out the lexicon or what's the name, they were calling the blip.
Yeah.
So it's just like the weight of what Thanos did became a joke. Like the snapping, yo man, the snapping should be like Pearl Harbor. You know what I'm saying? Like the snapping is like everybody on Earth, half of everything on Earth that was living disappeared. Mosquitoes, butterflies, birds, and human beings. Everything cut in half, gone. Half the world,
That's not bad, mosquitoes disappearing.
half the whales, half the whales are already in danger.
Should have
Half
made all the
the whales,
mosquitoes disappear.
half everything. So when you really think about that, and you really think about the totality of okay, if this happened on Earth, what happened across millions and millions of worlds and galaxies out there?
Galaxies,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like the genocide was beyond comprehension of what he did.
Let me ask you this, and I'm gonna ask this to both of you. Did that happen in one universe
Happened everywhere.
or across the multiverse? Well, no,
Oh
no,
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 no!
Not
no.
It happened.
across the multiverse. There's
It
just that
only no, no.
universe.
It only happened in their universe. You want to know
Right.
why?
Because those stones
Loki
only work in one universe. They only work in the
had
universe of origin.
it only affects the universal origin, so it only happened
Correct.
in their
Correct.
timeline. In
Correct.
that branch timeline, that's the only where it happened because that's why they had a drawer full of infinity stones. You know what I'm saying? So it did not cross multi. That's why Scarlet Witch was so dangerous because she crossed over all. You know what I'm saying? She was, anchor being or whatever how they're trying to explain it in Deadpool, anchor being. You know what I'm saying? Like she crossed over dimensions in the ultimate multiverses. You know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, it only like Thanos, his stones, his universe only worked there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't work in the TVA because it was nowhere. So, and you couldn't just go and say, hey. And that's why Loki was like, hold up, you just got these? Oh, yeah. We just got these things laying around like paperweights. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I just look at it like uh, it's not over multiverse, but still, I mean, we're not even gonna think about that. Like that's what Victor Timely did. You know, that's why Loki and like Sylvie. That's why Sylvie, Lady Loki, was so hell bent because that's how she viewed it. Like he's killing dimensions. He's
Yeah.
wiping people dimensions because they don't fit with the flow of what he want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't really think people are really going to get the grand scale of what he who remains did in Secret Wars and Doomsday. They're really going to tackle, and they're going to try to tackle and close the book. Like once Secret Wars end, I think that's going to be the end of the multiverse. Like because they're going to have all the actors, all the old actors are going to die off, or they're going to continue as. I still think that Wolverine is going to be. I mean, I think um, they're going to keep the same Wolverine, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to recast Wolverine. Everyone else, I think they will, and it kind of makes sense because you can have Old Man Wolverine in the new universe. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I believe. I don't think Deadpool's going to die. I think he's always going to be a part of it. Why wouldn't you? It's too much of a moneymaker not to do it.
Understood.
Yeah,
Hey, let's go ahead and rate this.
great.
Unfortunately, the wife is calling me downstairs,
Oh,
so I
sorry.
gotta roll. No. Hey, Dixon Way, look here, brother. You got carte blanche to come on here, bro. We love you on here. All good. Um, Jordan, I'm not gonna go over this entire list. We know what it is. I'm gonna give you my
Yeah, we
rating.
know.
Dixon Way, you give me your rating. And then and we'll go. Or Jordan, you can give me yours. I'm gonna give this movie. Now, initially, I would have given it a 5 out of 10, but after watching it, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a six and a
Is
half out of
that above or below Daredevil?
It's above. It's above. Yeah, I can't in good conscience rate Daredevil better than this. Not the movie from 2003. So yeah,
Fair,
it's above it.
fair,
It's
very
above.
fair.
It's above it.
Mhm.
Jordan, what are you gonna rate this, or do you want Dixon Way to rate it first?
Dixon Way, you can rate this.
Anything higher than Daredevil, with Ben Affleck. So I don't know. That's a real bad one for me. That and Electro was worse. Um, so I guess five and a half.
Okay,
Movies are like fours and three and a halves to me. So
that's fair.
yeah,
That's
so
fair.
five and a half, five and a half.
All right, Jordan, what say you, brother?
All right, I'm gonna be a little harder. So obviously, 5 out of 10 or higher is a movie I will recommend to anyone. I'm just, I don't think I'd recommend this to everybody. I'm pretty hard. In the past, I've probably given this a positive review, but as time goes on, I like it a lot less, and I like the other two a lot more.
Mm.
Um, I'm gonna give this, and it's the same issue with a movie that's right ahead of this one, but I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 10. Um, I,
Ooh,
I I'm
ooh, wee.
I think,
Mm.
and I think there's way too many plots going on, and I just, as time goes on, I'm just like, this is just too much. Like,
Mm.
I sometimes a simple plot is okay. Like in Blade, simple plot, perfect. In in honestly in X Men Apocalypse, it is pretty much a simple plot. X Men, simple plot. X Men Dark Phoenix, simple plot. X Men Origins Wolverine has an issue with the plot too. The difference is between X Men Origins Wolverine and this is that as time goes on, I start to I start to understand what they were trying to do. It was just there was a lot of characters going on, and maybe the direction wasn't right. With Spider-Man 3, there's stuff that makes me cringe, and stuff that I just can't. I will never do. I can't, from a film perspective, defend how why Peter goes and does the things he does with the Venom symbiote in this movie. It is almost like it was a fan fiction on a Reddit channel, a Reddit that they came up with
Yeah.
for some of the parts in this movie. Like, I want you to guys to understand that that there was a group of people sitting in a room developing ideas for this movie, and some person said, what if we have Toby pointing finger guns at people, dancing and sliding, and like someone actually sat there and came up with this idea. I
Yeah.
love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. My favorite character in film or in literature, in anything. And I I didn't like what Toby was doing. I didn't like what Kirsten Dunst was doing. And it's not their acting, it's how they were written. I think
Right. Right.
everybody did exactly what they were told to do, but the writing sucked.
Yeah.
So, um there's
That was
just
Sam.
way too many issues with this movie.
Yeah. I got you. I feel like it was Sam Raimi thumbing his nose at the studio saying, "You want me to write him? Okay, that's what I'm gonna write him."
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
And
100%.
you know what? Good for Sam Raimi. Good for Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad he
what.
did that.
Yeah, that's it.
Good deal. Well, the Nerd King says if they were making fun of the blip, I can't imagine what Doomsday and Secret Wars will be like, and we'll end it there. To everyone who joined us, we appreciate it. Larry, tell these folks where they can find you, sir. And for those of you who don't know Larry, just a talented guy. Does a 5, 6, 7, 50, 11 sports, does Braves, Hawks, Falcons, I believe United, does
No,
the Bulldogs, does
no.
those. Oh, it was an interesting day in your household today, wasn't it? Isn't your wife a Gators fan?
Oh yeah, we did the cocktail party, man. We had our
Oh,
stream ever, man.
Yeah, I
86,000
believe it.
86,000 people. So yeah, that was crazy.
I
Uh,
believe it. I believe it. Well, I mean, hey man, you've earned it, bro. But tell these folks where they can find you, Dixon Way.
yeah. I mean, you guys can find me right there with my name under me. At the Dixon Way, me and my beautiful wife, we do live commentary for sporting events for the Atlanta sports teams. The Braves, Hawks, Falcons, Bulldogs. The Dream. We don't do the United. I don't know soccer, so we don't do the United. But yeah, those sports we definitely do. Bulldogs, great win today against Florida Gators. Yeah, we're house divided, so yeah, that's always fun.
I do it.
Play because she was real happy majority of the game. It was a really good game. So,
Oh boy.
yeah,
Oh.
really
Oh.
good game.
All right.
Talking big stuff, but yeah, thank you.
Oh man.
I always like talking movies with you guys, especially the comic book version, because yeah, I can get real nerdy with it. So yeah, thank you guys.
We no, bro. We love having you. Jordan, tell these folks where they can find you.
You can find me at Ultegacy, Ultegacy. We cover all things sports. We're going to be posting the World Series here shortly, and college football top 25 games. They should be coming to an end. The last top 25 team started their game about a half hour ago. And yeah, when it comes to movies, I post on my Instagram whenever I'm seeing movies. I haven't seen a movie since last week. I saw Black Phone 2, which was pretty good. Halloween season is now over, so there goes all the scary movies. But next week we are going to be reviewing Fantastic Four by Tim
The first
Story.
one, right?
So
yeah, the first one.
Oh, the first
yes.
one.
So I can't wait to review that movie because that's a fun movie for me. I always have a great time watching it. It's not great, but I just enjoy it. I can always sit down and have a good time with it.
Okay. Well, hey man, looking forward to it. Hey, to those of you who join us in the chat, we are so appreciative. We cannot thank you guys enough. We love talking about this stuff. We love talking about it with you, and we appreciate you joining us. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be with us. We thank God for sending us your way. I thank God for sending these two gentlemen my way because they love comics like I love comics. And you don't understand. I'm a complete nerd in my family. Nobody else loves comics. So I love the fact that I can talk about this stuff with you guys. Hey, you can catch me at 4myatlmovies Sports 1, where we talk about Braves, Falcons, Hawks, all Atlanta sports. Or you can catch me here at 4myatlmovies 1. We'll be back next Saturday talking Fantastic Four. Dixon Way, you are certainly invited to join us. Jordan, brother, I know I will see you. You guys have an amazing week. And thank you to everyone. Thank God for waking me up this morning. Thank God for Mr. Eric Parker, my brother, and Mr. Jack Spade for giving my start in this business. You guys have an amazing day. Good night, everybody.
Did you watch Marvel Zombies yet?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
I have not.
I did.
This movie was about
Lights, camera, action is going down. For my ATL movies, when we run this town with your host, T-Wil, yeah, keeping it real. From the A to the screen, you can feel the thrill. Rolling with the classics, we're setting the pace. Highlighting the magic of our soulful space. Got the vibe, got the crew, making it tight. When the screen lights up, everything feels right. Grab your popcorn, let's make it loud. T-Wil, T-Wil, it's movie time, ATL style. Stand proud. From the silver screen to the hearts we steal. T-Wil, T-Wil, every frame we capture is a real deal. Yeah. Talking premieres where the stars align. ATL views, yeah, they really shine. Behind the